make the stream happen. Hello, everybody on the internet. Welcome. Dorks around the world unite. This is Dork Tales and a special episode of Generic Fantasy Setting number 17735, and that is the Chicken of Power on the table. I don't know why the Chicken of Power is there. So
turn it around so that
turn it around.
they can see.
Point the cock the right direction.
Very important.
Hey, I can say these things because James isn't here. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Dork Tales, Generic Fantasy Setting number 17735, episode 17, The Crap Job, or Crap Job, depending on how I edit it later. I am your dungeon master for tonight, Kelly, and starting on my right and working my way around to my special guest player for the night, my players are...
Hi, I'm Christine, and I'm playing Malia. Malia Sunsworn, to be specific.
Okay, and
Pacific.
I can't speak.
To be Pacific.
Specific. Me next?
The cleric.
Yes.
Yep.
Dwarf
Okay.
cleric.
I am Amy, and I'm playing Teah Armstrong, the half-orc druid. I'll get it down.
And our guest for the night is...
Chris, and I'm playing a generic NPC.
Yeah!
It's dangerous to go alone.
So you'll be meeting up with him shortly. I'm just going to skip into my notes. This has been a very hectic night, so if you're watching this right now, I managed to not speed coming home from a committee meeting that ran late, because it won't happen again, I promise. But thank you all for setting up all of the cameras and sound equipment.
We tried.
Yeah.
And if we
And
ever
by
need
we,
to
I
set
mean
things up
mostly
again,
these two.
Yeah,
then we will know how to do it much faster next time.
yeah, it's... The camera gets glitchy sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I figured it out for the future in general if we have that problem ever again.
Okay, so this is a lot of paper.
Wow, yeah.
These are all my Dahlgren Bridge notes, so I'm just going to put these down here.
I've got some
That's a
too.
stack of...
Yeah, you've got your notes. All right, so what the hell are you watching? I know, right? It's just 4 people in a room. You're rolling dice. Well, I'm going to give you a quick backlog of... Oh, hey, Mike, how's it going? This is Generic Fantasy Setting number 17735, and in the spirit of fantasy settings, especially those generic ones, it's not quite Greyhawk, it's not quite Faerun, it's something special. Eventually, we will name it, but for now, it's generic. Generic Fantasy Setting follows the story of an intrepid young thief slash gem merchant who was convinced to help a band of roving adventurers break into an ancient goddess's vault and steal the purple gem out of the center of her statue's forehead, which shattered upon its removal and cursed her to become a tiefling. This character, Marisol, is not in the game tonight, but as she traveled, she came across a couple of explorers. One was Malia Sunsworn, the cleric of Vela, the goddess of the sun, sky, and tempest, who is the earth goddess Nirn, who was slighted by Marisol's good-aligned twin sister. And also the mercenary turned druid, Teah Armstrong, the strong arm.
She's not that strong.
Armstrong Tactics, and who is traveling around with a lot of, like, not quite PTSD, but PTSD's cousin.
A bit, yeah.
Okay. And then they also met up with Jason, who was a wood elf monk, and was eventually plucked away by giant eagles to finish his training, because giant eagles are the fantasy world equivalent of Uber. And hello, Kel, as well. Then, as they were traveling, they met Xenofrian Rightwing of the Rightwing clan, a dragon slayer bloodline that rules the lower coast of Thestril. And then they traveled ever north, looking for a way to remove the curse on Marisol and turn her back into a human, and hopefully to recombine the shards of the Eye of Nirn, the gem that was broken. And to do this, they have made their way to the edge of the continent to a gaping chasm called the Earth Scar that was left when the Titan of Rage, Yominger, had a knockdown, drag-out fight with the dwarven god Gren and the god of battle and oaths.
As you do.
As you do. And Yominger was blinded, and the strike that killed him, well, that defeated him. Well, he's not dead. You can't really kill a Titan. Cleft the earth down almost a mile, and it's hundreds of miles long. So there are 3 bridges that cross the lower continent to the main one, where they are on their way to meet a wizard to help. And you are in a place called Dogrun Bridge, which of the 3 mythic bridges is the 3rd. So I love that joke, and no one laughs. So
Laughed.
I know you did because you're wonderful.
Thanks.
I'm very fond of you,
You're
Amy.
pretty cool too.
You're pretty cool as well. So tonight, the characters went to Dogger'n Bridge to find that the border had been closed due to a bunch of political turmoil. Please watch the last 3 episodes if you want to get caught up on that. But the short is that there's a bridge. It's divided in half. And there are some competing factions. The jarl, who is supposed to be in charge of the bridge and is pretty much her domain, who has is in the middle of fighting off a junta called the Fast Cloud, which is a militarized little band of halflings, mostly, that have rebelled against her. And as well, there is a house from Thestral that you are connected to called House Claywin that has... they may have instigated this civil war in order to try to gain passage for their armies across the bridge. But it's still up for debate because you guys haven't done much research. The Jarl arrested you for being friends with a tiefling and then was like, oops, my bad. Sorry, wrong tiefling. We don't get many of them. They all look alike.
I guess you being green.
It's not. But basically, they were let go and were promised riches, rewards, and aid. And please help us not have our city collapse into the mire and do some tasks for us. So last game, you did a bunch of shopping.
Yes.
And then at the end of it, you discovered that there was a cat that could talk that was kind of running the whole assassin shebang or something.
Can't trust cats.
I mean, you can't trust your rogue, so maybe that's not the case. I mean, hey. And with that, you and your NPC PC tag-along, who I didn't mention earlier, Ferret, a dragon in a mostly human form that you recovered from Amber.
And bought fancy hats for.
And bought many fancy hats for, at least 2 now. And, she bought 1 hat of her own, and then you got her a fancier hat. That's what it
I
was.
need to get on that. You're kind of
I
getting
got
all
her the one
all
with the big,
bride
like,
lights.
ostrich feather,
Yeah.
like the bicorn.
The plume.
Or
No.
tricorn.
It's a tricorn. A
Tricorn.
bicorn would be
It's like
like...
a velvet tricorn.
A bicorn would be like what the hat you make out
Yeah, I
of
know,
newspaper.
Yeah, it's like the. Yeah.
All right. Oh,
I-
so...
I thought about it as I said it, and then I changed it.
Oh, I don't need that. I got the bear.
We got the bear now?
I got the bear.
All right. So that's our backstory, and we're going to be jumping into play in...
What the fuck was that, Amy?
It was a bear.
Was it a bear?
Wait,
And
no.
I just
I'm Malia, and
That's
then...
pretty unbearable.
You're unbearable.
I know, I love it.
He's not unbearable. I realize we don't have a figure for you because you're new. There's your other you.
Yeah, I need to.
Your
he-
figureless blog.
Here, you are going to be knight.
I will be knight.
Is that
No.
a generic
It's a generic knight.
paladin?
That would make an awesome Oath of Conquest paladin.
Right? They're pretty rad. You could
Which-
be...
Oh,
Oh,
comments
it's
are
generic
pretty rad.
NPC number 279.
This new mug is fantastic.
Did
I
you?
like it.
Oh,
Like-
actually, Christine,
It's cute.
can I get you to go get my other mug?
Which other
The
mug?
black one?
Ah.
Now,
So-
does it say T or create?
It
Create.
says create.
So if there's T in there, is it creativity?
See? And it's so comfortable
Creativity.
and fantastic.
Oh,
Boom.
Ah.
Why are we sitting next to each other? This was a mistake.
This was a-
is it in
This is a
box,
wonderful,
though?
wonderful...
No, I think it's on the counter
Mine
dying.
now!
And of course, it's hard to smell if it's just
Everyone gets
It's
one.
just a black mug. There's nothing special about this mug at all, but for some reason, drinking out of a dragon is just not good enough for me anymore.
Wait a second.
Is it there, or did I put it in the cupboard?
it's not in that cupboard.
Then it's on the bottom shelf of the strong box. It's literally just an IKEA cabinet, but strong box sounds way
It
better.
sounds way better. I have a little box like this that I use as a pencil case.
The
And it's called a
the
vault.
metal thing.
That's
It
awesome.
has a lock on it. The metal cabinet.
Yeah, I know, I'm looking there.
Is it not on the bottom shelf?
No, I can't find the frickin' thing. Oh, I found it.
All right.
It was probably.
You know,
I didn't see it there, right in my line of sight.
I
On
put
the
it-
story of
ones that
my
you don't
life.
want anything sitting on.
Oh no! That's the bins of things. Okay,
See?
it's
Black
just
mug.
it's just a normal mug.
Just a
Like
generic
I don't know why I
white
like this
black
mug
mug.
so much. It's a generic mug. Really.
Yeah.
You can see there's nothing special about this mug.
Don't spill.
Oh, don't pour them.
It's just my notes.
Now they're authentic notes.
It's true. I've aged them with coffee.
You aged me with that spill.
I did, and that's a lot of...
That's a lot of wet notes.
That's
Do
a
you
lot of
need
wet
a
notes.
paper towel?
No, I've got clean
Is it hot enough
tissues.
to do it?
Yeah, it's doing it.
It's slowly doing it. Do you want me to hold it up there?
Yeah, do you mind? Do you mind? And just breathe
I mean,
sensually on
nothing's
it.
happening. Nothing. Not doing a darn thing.
I'm
You
just gonna-
super can't see it yet.
You super can't see it.
No, it's totally black, right?
Come
This
on.
stuff is not hot
Come on.
enough.
Faster.
There it goes.
Wait. What is
Slowly.
it doing?
Nothing.
Here, bring it over to me. I'll heat it up.
No, it's happening.
Womp 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 womp
There it
womp
is.
womp womp womp. Hold on. You know what it needs? It needs some encouragement.
Also, let us
Oh,
know if we need to
yeah.
fix the sound. For
Oh my god, did you really?
Ha.
I love it!
Super generic, boring black mug. Nothing. interesting
That was
at all.
totally worth wasting 2 minutes of your life.
We are just too thrilled about the color change. Like,
Yeah. So I
share it.
got one of these, and like I got it on. So I'm a master now. I completed my master's degree, and as soon as I got that, I picked up this mug from the print shop on campus. Thank you. And the circle is complete. I am now the master.
Dungeons?
Yes, which we will start in just a second. But yeah, I picked up that mug, and immediately like 4 people, including my mom, be like, "I need 4 of them." I'm like, "Jesus, Mom, okay."
And then we proceed to take pictures of it in full Master's Regalia.
Oh, I should have posted those on Dork Tales. I'll post them later. Mind blown. All right, so with that, with the game in mind, I'm going to give you, this is boom, and you get one of these, and Blog, you're a guest, so you get the silver one.
What is this?
That is your
That's your
inspiration. So you can spend that for a point of inspiration, because I like giving out coins and tokens, because they're neat.
It's inspired, you could say.
It's pretty inspired. Okay, so I don't need most of these minis, so I'm just going to move them all.
No, that lip there
Is the perfect
is
shape.
perfect place to have your lips go. Just like go around it and like drink from it.
Would you like me to show you the perfect place for your lips to go? Wow.
Oh, baby.
Maybe not on the channel.
It'd be fine. All right, so
We'll be fine. James isn't here.
it's basically. I like it,
Basically, whenever James isn't here, we just rag on him the whole time.
and it's great. And then he plays in games where he's like, "Oh, make the producer more perverse," and I'm like,
What? No. What? No.
Hello?
James.
"Welcome to generic Duncan setting number 17735."
I don't think we can fill
No,
it.
you
I don't
mean
think we can put this on
17769,
like,
right?
1696969.
Is that what we put on Pornhub?
You know what? I think we should broadcast on Pornhub, just like normal D&D games. I think that would
We
be
probably
great.
get more viewers that way.
Yeah. I run Dungeons and Dragons for you and don't have sex with you. Just like Ryan Creamer.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So wholesome.
So wholesome. Anyway, we'll talk about Pornhub later. But now it's time for Dungeons and Dragons.
Actual dragons.
Actual dragons, actual dungeons. And I'm gonna...
This is more like sewers and slogging.
This is crap job. All right. And so we're gonna go to 17. Do I call these episodes or games? Games. All right. It was late afternoon when you departed from your friends, breaking apart as you wandered down the central thoroughfare and down the tiers from the upper echelons of Dog Run Bridge's southern quarter, where you are residing in your hotel. The 3 of you, Malia, Teah, and Ferret. All of you have names, I just realized. What does your name end with?
The 18.
And okay, good. You're not an as well. It could be.
Did you just break
Nah.
the streak of the 18?
Hey,
I'm an NPC. I'm not part of the team.
That's true.
But you could be Blog.
Now-
You could have been.
We could have.
You make your way down, crossing to the central layer of Dog Run Bridge, the 3rd tier, that leads to, of course, its namesake. This time of night, you can see that the shopkeepers have packed up for the night. Their wares either stripped down or covered by tight, binding canvases. And as you're going by, can I get everyone to make me a perception roll, please? You'll be on scene soon.
You said everyone.
Okay,
I mean,
sure.
You can roll if you want.
Yeah, you can roll if you want, man. I don't care.
You can roll if you want to.
You can leave your friends behind. Do you need a pencil? You got one?
Do you have
21.
Holy crap.
1.
No.
You have more
I
wisdom
rolled
than
a
one.
3.
Okay.
So, 9. 9!
9, 9, 9, 9.
9, 9.
9, 9.
So, you
1, 2,
know.
2. Don't worry about it.
What?
Are you up to date on Brooklyn? Okay, you need to get on
I'm
that.
like 2 or 3 seasons behind.
Oh my god, this recent season. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
It's even getting me into it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was,
already into it. I just need to.
it was the recent heist episode.
heist episode. I live
God.
for heists.
It was pretty fantastic, and I don't generally like that show because it hits all my awkward meter.
It hits it for me on.
Because
several
Charles
fronts,
is Charles. All right. As you make your way across Dog Run Bridge with Farah, you overhear some of the nice 23. Some of the shopkeepers chatting. I just don't feel safe. There's so few guards on the bridge now. I swear, if anything's gone tomorrow, I'm bringing back my wagon. Don't worry, Grandpa. Everything's going to be fine. The guards won't let anyone steal anything. No one's allowed on the bridge after dark unless they're going straight to the library. And it's not like there's anything in City Hall. Still, I just don't trust all these halflings running around. And as you approach, he'll cast a nervous look at this old, toothless man who was manning a vegetable stand at you. Don't trust these halflings at all. He's a human, and obviously misinformed and a bit racist.
Are you a halfling?
How can you not tell a dwarf? Jesus.
Who?
Well,
Vela.
Vela. There we go.
that would have been the actual sound.
Yeah. You make your way further across, and you can see that off to the right of the bridge is a staircase that descends down on the right. A guard is standing in front of it. A torch casting bright light over the dimness that falls at dusk. What do you do?
So we're taking Ferret to the
To the
library.
library, yes.
How far is it from here? It's like just in front of us, or
It's just in front of you. As far as you've been led to believe, it's just
Okay.
through that door. There's a stairwell on the other side of this bridge that leads up into the administration quarters. But from here, you can actually see above it, above the stairwell, it leads down to a door that has the symbol of Thias on it, the pair of hands holding books.
so okay, yeah. I guess we're leaving you here. You gonna be okay?
With
I
a
mean,
bunch
you'll
of,
be okay, but like,
with a bunch of books, I think I'll be fine.
okay. Have fun.
Is there anything you want me to look up? I mean, I've got my lists, but
Yeah.
I mean mental lists. I don't really have any paper. I really should have gotten paper.
If there's a librarian around, they might have some parchment for it you could use.
Is there anything that you need, Malia?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I don't really need anything, but you get caught up. But if anything jumps out at you, maybe keep an eye out for, I guess, more about.
What was the
Remember?
stuff that we were considering having her look at for something in particular, missing books or something like that, or something?
Yeah, there were some books stolen from here recently.
Yeah. Do you think you remember hearing they were saying about books being stolen? Can you maybe kind of just have a look at their systems, sort of thing, like just vaguely, like just kind of sound them out?
I'll just ask the librarian.
Yeah.
And especially what type of books they are, if there's anything notable about them. But that's the only thing I can really think of. Yeah.
Okay, well, wish me luck.
Good luck. I'm sure you'll be fine.
And she takes a couple of steps forward, and you can hear the guard. His spear down. Oh, who goes there? One library, please.
I waved the token at him.
Who goes there?
we're working for the jarl. She's been offered use of the library, or at least allowed to look at it.
I'm gonna have to check with my supervisor about that.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
I'm quite sure that this was something we were allowed to do.
It was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
go for it.
No
worries. I understand.
Actually, Sir! Sir! You'll hear a voice shout to you. It's Caden, the brand new guard trainee. He's been there for maybe a month. Green as a lizard's belly.
What is it now, Caden?
Sir, there's a woman in a big hat, a girl in a big hat who wants into the library. I thought we were supposed to be keeping the library shut because of all of the stealings.
Do they have a pass?
They've got... they have the Jarl's token, sir, but I don't know what the Jarl's token looks like. It could be a forgery. I'm just saying that there's a lot of clay forgeries going on these days. And I read about it in a book.
I think they have a...
Okay, a bard told me.
I'll laugh, like, just kind of chuckle a little bit, shake my head, and we'll, like, walk up and say...
A man approaches. Describe yourself.
Oh boy. So he's a 6'1" human with blue eyes, black hair, and dusty skin. He's decked out in plate mail with a really large warhammer strapped to his back, as well as a shield that kind of it seems to kind of shift every once in a while. Like
it's got this etched pattern that kind of occasionally you'll look at it and it's shaped like this and it'll go.
And he'd be wearing the
dwarven thrower is a hammer, right?
Yes, it is.
A man after my own heart.
There's something weird about his hammer though compared to yours.
Yeah. It's a lot bigger for one.
It's a lot bigger, but it's not just a hammer. It's got a clawed in on the back. Like it looks like a carpenter's hammer, but giant.
You have a dwarf looking dreamingly kind of at you, but not.
Can you make me a religion roll? And you, if you have it.
I do.
Yeah,
no, I don't have religion. I just have my standard.
You can make the roll.
18. I can try the
18.
roll.
You'll actually recognize that as one of the standard hammers of a very particular god. And that would be. Did you write down who the?
I rolled a 4, so that's a 5.
Beatrice. Beatrice. Bitcoin. Got it.
Was it Beatrice?
Beatrice.
It was Beatrice, wasn't it?
Yep.
The goddess of cities.
Yeah.
The builder.
And he'll have like just in the corner of the breastplate, he'll actually have a little bit of the Jarl's heraldry, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like
so you'll have like a brooch or something that's holding your cloak up. To give kind of a look, I think that you described your character kind of looking like the guy who plays Aladdin in the new live action.
Yeah, though I haven't seen that. But
you've seen the ad, right? Like
that sounds good to me.
Like he's obviously not the standard like Nordic white dude looking guy that this part tends to have.
Yep.
And underneath like the plate mail and whatnot, like that he's wearing, it'll look like he's got like some little extra fur padding, like here and there.
Huh.
You know, got to keep a guy warm.
So he'll approach and. You want to describe yourselves really quickly for Chris, since it's your first time playing?
Yeah. Okay. So Malia is a dwarf, but she does look slightly odd because she has bright red hair, like really red hair, and one pale blue eye and one gold eye. So, and you would know probably living in this world that those are marks of Vela. Oh. So she was obviously called from birth to the service of Vela.
Yeah.
Vela is
the goddess of the sky and
sky,
tempest.
Sun, tempest.
Ooh.
So she has one eye that's the sun and one eye that's the moon.
So I'm a tempest cleric.
Cool.
So I call down lightning on a regular basis.
It's pretty badass.
I haven't really used Thunderwave yet, but I've used lightning
we'll
constantly.
Get there. One day.
It's really fun when they hit you, and as a reflex, I can strike them with lightning.
Zap zap.
I need to do that more, but I keep not getting hit. They keep having like 10-foot range or reach, and I can't get close enough to like actually hit them and not be in danger of like poison breath or frost or something.
Just, vengeful.
I think I can help with this.
And Teah is a half orc who is, I guess she's a little. She's got average height, I guess, for a half orc. She's like maybe a little bit short. She's 5'8". She's got purple eyes. Her skin's kind of a palish green, and her hair is just dark brown. And her ears are a little more pointed than is normal for an orc. If you notice that sort of thing.
Okay.
This is actually probably a fairly good representation of Malia, actually.
Angry,
It's a
flaming
pretty
hair.
perfect token, actually.
All right.
All right. So I'll walk up and just kind of be shaking my head but smiling, and sorry. All right, give it here.
I'm pretty clearly looking past you, over your shoulder.
All right.
What? It's a really nice hammer. Jeez. Tall
it is.
folks.
In Dwarven, you got something against tall folks?
They always freak out when I look at their hammer.
Yeah, people freak out when they look at mine too. So where'd you get this?
I can't hear this because you're speaking of
It was
dwarves, aren't you?
handed to us by what's-her-face, the Jarl.
Make me an insight roll.
At least I'm pretty sure it was the
Oh,
Jarl,
perfect.
or her assistant.
You basically-
15.
All right. So you actually had heard earlier that the Jarl had recruited some adventurers to do jobs for her. And actually, you were looking to find some of them for the mission that you're on right now.
Perfect.
It's very good timing.
All right, so one of you is going to the library?
I am.
Yeah.
In common.
I am. So the third person is a young girl who looks to be maybe 16, 17. Overly long elven ears that stick out over like this very ornate kind of swashbuckler hat.
Like blue velvet lace and a huge ostrich feather.
And but like super pale skin with spatterings of gold.
Okay.
Like almost scaling along her face and neck.
All right, well, let her in. And what are you two up to?
One library, please.
I don't
See you,
think we need
Ferret.
to... Okay,
Thank
well,
you.
Bye, Farah.
Have fun. We were, I believe. Teah, were you going to go with me? I was thinking about looking into the disappearance of the workers in the sewer.
Yeah, I figure we should stick together.
That's
If-
wonderful, because I take it that the Jarl hired you to look into that, right?
She handed us several jobs, and we're slowly working through several of them.
Perfect, because I could use a hand in the sewers.
Oh,
Wonderful! Company that knows the way around would be wonderful.
yes, I would appreciate not having to slog through sewers,
Well, we're going to have to do that
unguided.
anyway.
I mean, I'd rather not get lost. Having someone who kind of knows the area, maybe a little bit, I'd be better.
It's a bit, it's
How
not
long
really
does this
that
take?
dangerous. Down there, it's
Which ritual?
I'm not
the
worried
worst
about the
thing.
danger.
The worst thing that you have to worry about is if there's another
Ritual?
one of
No.
those quakes that's been happening
Ritual.
lately. Sometimes some of the paths get blocked
That
off.
means you
But
can cast a ritual.
Oh, okay. Well, how long
other
does
than
that
that, it's really not too bad.
If you cast a ritual, it takes I think an hour, and
Okay.
it doesn't expend a spell slot then.
take? Oh, okay. Do we have time for that potentially?
Up to you.
Do we have any time before we need to go down in? Because there's potential I can make it so we can walk on the water instead of going through it.
That would be nice.
That sounds fantastic.
All right,
Did
I
you
need
hear
an
about these
hour.
quakes?
This place is already cold enough as it
And I
is,
need
and
some
like when you
cork.
get wet, it gets right into your bone.
Did we hear about these quakes that he mentioned? I don't have a note about them.
Well, you did. There was an avalanche the other day that you
Yeah.
caused, and
I mean,
there,
I'm trying to think. There was that one.
there have been some strange shakes recently. You noticed some when you were traveling through the Ballyhut range.
Oh.
They've been kind of like, but when you're traveling through a mountain, it's
That was
kind of hard to
avalanche,
tell.
Yeah.
Nothing that seemed out of the ordinary, but now that you're on the surface, I mean, the bridge is probably
now that
a
you
little more.
mention it.
Yeah.
Huh. I
Alright.
didn't notice that.
Do you exchange names?
Yes, I will introduce myself.
Oh,
I'm too busy like paying
Teah.
attention to the hammer,
Kadim.
so that'll
Sorry,
remind
what?
me though.
Kadim.
Kadim? Okay.
Oh, Malia Sunsworn.
Kadim.
Nice to meet you. Do you have a room I could take over for an hour and some cork?
Sorry, Teah?
Teah.
An hour?
Yeah. And I can make it so we can walk on water down there.
It would be nice. We wouldn't have to.
That is so worth it. And that stink is so hard to get out. Yeah, let's, how far are we from, my accommodations?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Alright, I'll bring them back there.
Alright. So you have a fairly decent place on the 4th level where most of the artisans and like the it's where the people of middle class generally stay. And it's a comfortable area on this side. Probably a small townhouse.
Okay.
It's kind of a Tudor style with the woodwork behind the plaster, or coming in front of the plaster as it is. And
Perfect.
a big blue front door.
All right. I'll unlock it and
Oh, I'm
open
sorry.
it.
It takes 10 minutes longer to cast.
Oh,
That's
only
it.
10 minutes.
Only 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So still.
I'll unlock the door and open it up. Inside, most of the place is actually very Spartan, except for there will be a door to like a bedroom sort of there, a small little sort of workshop, like a desk kind of thing, and you'll notice that there's just a bunch of like tools like lying on that, but the rest of it is fairly Spartan. There isn't really much in the way of furniture, just kind of a few little pillows and whatnot for sitting on the floor, and there's a giant rug in the middle of the room that is done up in the holy symbol of Beatrice.
Now, do
Beatrice.
you have a fire going, or will you get a fire?
Oh,
going?
I will get a fire going. And one thing you will notice when you turn around near the front of the door, there's a bunch of coats and blankets just kind of hung up on the wall. And when you get in, he'll immediately offer, like, make yourselves comfortable. And anybody, do you need a coat or?
Yes. Yes, please. Thank you.
I know this place is freaking freezing.
I'm pretty sure
Don't spend too much time
I
in the mountains.
stocked up on furs at one point.
Yeah, you're pretty warm.
Until they're not nice furs, but they're still furs. And he'll start a fire and just be like, "How long do you need for this?"
Just about 10 minutes. And do you have a piece of cork?
Cork. No, I don't drink. Oh, one moment, and he'll go over to the desk and just kind of like ruffle around and see if he can find anything like that.
Sure. A little bit of ruffling around, you'll easily find a bit of cork to push pins in or something like that.
Yeah. Will that do?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I'll just like sit down on the floor.
So what made you two decide to go into the sewers? You said you were offered a few jobs?
Yeah, I don't really want to get caught up too much in political stuff when I've never been here before, so I can't say, anything about political situations here because I don't know any of it.
We're really just trying to pass through, so
Yeah, I don't want to get too caught up in that, but
if we can help somewhat and help speed things along.
Workers trapped down there through no fault of their own and no stuff with politics, well I've already healed your guards.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I go down there on behalf of the Jarl. Try and like help out whoever we can. She does. It's rough going with everything going on in the city, but she really is trying to help.
Is there anything really you can tell us about this that I don't know?
Well, what do you want to know?
I don't know. This seems like a mess.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is, and it's not going to be easy to fix it. But I think the Jarl's on the right track. Like it's, really, honestly, I think most of the workers are just being manipulated. The Fast Cloud is a bunch of vagrants and like gamblers, and they beat on people and prey on them. Like most of the, there's been rumors that some of the enforcers in the mines have been a little overindulgent, but we haven't found any proof of that. If anything, all of the violence that we find is because of one of these like halfling criminals like beating up on somebody for like gambling debt and causing riots. It's it's not a good situation, but and a lot of people aren't too happy with the fact with the conscription that's been going on, but this work needs to be done, and accidents do happen, and nobody wants that to happen, but we pay to make sure that anyone's family that they leave behind doesn't have to worry about food. And we pay them in, right now it's credit, but once the mines start becoming more profitable, they'll see advantage of that, and they also get tax breaks. She does whatever she can to try and even this out, and people are just taking advantage of the situation to stir chaos, and really I think it's those Claywins. They...
Oh, what makes you say that?
Well, they tried to intimidate her into letting her allow their armies to pass over the bridge, and she said no. I mean, I don't know if you've met her.
Yeah,
do you think she's somebody who'd take kindly to intimidation?
No, did not strike me as someone who would.
No, she did not like that one bit, and denied them passage, and we don't have any proof, but we think they've been funding the Fast Cloud, trying to instigate things. I mean, if we can find proof, that would be great, because then we can take some more direct action, but I mean, she wants to do everything correctly, which is admirable.
From the sound of it also is that it's likely that the Fast Cloud started with that core group of vagrants, but managed to pull in the idealistic.
I think they are preying on people who...
And it's going to be difficult for her to tell the difference between them and make sure that people who are simply wanting a better life or better thing in the way they see that they need to do that might have been through this, but
maybe we'll find something in the sewers, I guess.
Yeah.
She's doing what she has to do to keep the city up and running, and it's working towards a better future. And it's crappy that people are getting hurt, but we're doing everything we can to try and make sure that this place will prosper.
Yeah.
And not just for us, but for everyone.
Right. You wouldn't know if there's any old tunnels or something from the sewers into the mountains, are there?
Are there any? Do I know if there's any tunnels from the sewers into the mountains?
Probably.
Okay.
Why don't you make me a history roll?
History.
Because if
with advantage because I live here.
You've only lived here a year or so.
But I've spent a lot of time in the sewers.
All right. You spent some time in the sewers.
13.
13? You would assume so. So Dogrun Bridge, if you remember your history correctly, was built, oh gods, how many thousands of years ago? And the sewer systems were built into a naturally occurring water drainage channel. So over thousands of years, it's totally understandable that passages might erode away. You know that there are critters that exist down in there. There used to be a tremendous rat problem, actually, on both sides of Dogrun. And it's actually one of the reasons it got its name, because they managed to get rid of this rat infestation through the introduction of hunting dogs. Especially little terriers, that stubborn little bastards.
He'll just kind of look off for a moment and be like, well, I think, that would make sense. I've only been in the city for a few years, but, maybe that's why there's all the dog statues all over the place. Sorry. Yeah, there's... I would think so. Not that anything that I've come across, though.
Okay. I'm just wondering...
Unfortunately, I as I said, I've only been here for a few years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just because you were mentioning that the tremors have been shaking things up and causing cave-ins, maybe they would have opened something that was sealed off long ago.
That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, those have been only... those have only been the last few months that I've noticed those, and I don't recall hearing about any from before I was in the city.
It's probably
That's good. You needing any more time, or?
So as you say that, she finishes...
I was going to actually before, like, this felt like a conversation I was involved in.
Okay.
So I didn't actually start yet.
Okay.
Is there anything we need to prepare before we go in? Do you need anything? Because this will only last an hour. And if possible, I don't want to have to try and recast it on the fly.
Yeah.
Well, I normally go in on my own, so I'm good
I
to
just
go.
want to make sure you had all your supplies, you have any torches you need, etc., light, whatever.
Well, if we're gonna be, that's gonna help us a lot with the water. And do you have any pickaxes or anything, just in case you need to? There's some rubble or anything we need to move out of the way, or?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna cast light
Okay.
on, I don't know, probably a particular part of my armor or something. So I have a little piece that glows.
Okay.
So I basically have a flashlight attached to me.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That is just a cantrip.
So good. All right.
Okay, but once I've asked that and that we're ready to go immediately after I finish, I'll ask you two to like stand across from me in front of me so I can see you, and then start.
All right.
I'll take out the hammer to distract you a little bit.
All right. So,
When you're done casting, it's like, did you want to see it?
Yes.
all right. So, in the meanwhile, your nostrils will be tickled by a slight, a sweet odor of a mix of lavender, peppermint, and sandalwood as she moves around you in a circle, very, very methodically, waving some lit sticks of incense, a cork in the center. You see her do repeated hand gestures of raising her hands to the sky and lowering them to the ground at all four corners of this circle. And then, I know, right? Basically cordoning it off into a magic circle. Coming to the center, raising the cork, and as she raises the cork in two cupped hands, you'll see it dissolve into ash and then to nothing. And you'll feel a tingle of magical energy well up around your ankles and the soles of your feet.
And I mean, she'll be chanting in Dwarven too, probably. Did you learn Dwarven at all, or?
I have not learned it yet.
Okay, but you know it.
Perhaps I can start
Basically,
learning
it's a
it.
prayer calling on Thela.
No, I will. Yeah. Afterwards, I'll be like, I really need to learn Dwarven.
And then he says, "Hey, do you want to see my hammer?" In Dwarven?
Yes.
In Dwarven.
I will examine it.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and make me an Arcana roll. And which hammer is this again? Is this the?
Yeah.
18.
It's the. Oh, really? It does. I totally forgot about that. So you can see that it has one of the symbols of Bitrus embedded in it, and it looks to be a consecrated weapon.
Cool.
You're not quite sure what it does, but you said an 18?
Yeah.
You get the sense that it's the atmosphere in the room at the moment after your ritual casting seems to be suited to this. But even as you hold it, you feel a slight tug from it, as if the weapon wants to return to its master's hand.
Very nice.
And it feels extra heavy when you set it down in his hand, as if it's relaxing into his touch.
Cool.
You satisfied?
It's a lovely weapon. Jeez.
Oh, I'm
No appreciation?
I appreciate it. I'm just want to check if it's up to your expectations.
Yeah,
It's
it's
as cool as
gorgeous.
you expected. Awesome.
Craftsmanship is fantastic.
And you've got a better eye for that than I do. So.
Make me a history roll real quick. Or a crafts roll, your call. Wait, crafts isn't on here, is it?
No.
Okay, then history roll.
Might be insight? No.
17.
I
I just have to figure out which one it's in because my thing is the new sheet.
You know what's really been confusing you the most about looking at this? It's not that it's good, it's that it's obviously human designed. Human. Wielding a hammer, made by humans.
Weird.
Will wonders never cease?
I don't say that.
There's nothing new under the Vela.
I hate it.
I love it.
But I love it.
All right. So with that, do you do anything else before you head out?
I don't think so.
I'll go over and just go over to the desk and just grab a few more tools and just like have a little kind of like wrapping. I forget what it's called, but stick a bunch of pretty much picks and stuff like that, and roll it up and just
A soft case, essentially.
yeah.
Like a workman's toolkit.
Yeah. Which, I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but they're like lockpicking tools.
Oh, we're familiar with those.
Oh, we're very familiar with those.
All right.
We just kind of like,
I probably don't even shrug. I'm just kind of like,
just look at it and think, makes sense for like a high up guard.
So, quick question before we go any further: Do you want to do theater of the mind for this, or do you want to actually have minis and maps for the first part?
I'm going to say theater of the
I'm
mind.
really good at doing theater of the mind for the
Yeah.
most part. If we get into maybe a battle that we have to keep track of, let's pull a map out.
Okay.
yeah.
So that sounds good.
Yeah.
So, with all of that, he stuffs the tools into his belt, and you head off. The Dog Run Bridge is... Darkness has fallen over it, and you can see that the fourth level is not as well lit as you would expect this time of night. Now, you know it's because the guard is being stretched very thin, and keeping candles lit is a part of a guard's duty. In fact, were you not on assignment, you might be out there helping them right now, replacing the old candles, making sure that they were the good 12-hour variety. And as you walk through the city streets, there's just a sense of foreboding and ominous. An ominous silence to the night. You make your way down the stairwells that lead you to the third level, and then to the second, which is where you know the entrance that the three people, three halflings, named Vith, Imin, and Oren.
Three missing halflings.
Three missing halflings. Vith and Oren are male, and Imin is a female. She's the foreman and was leading them in there. You know that the city has been experiencing some problems for the past week or so. Primarily that the drainage systems are not working. It hasn't gotten to the point where the excrement and waste is backing up into the toilets that do exist, but it's obviously not going anywhere. So people are having to dump their chamber pots over the bridge, over the sides of the cliffs, and that's just creating more problems. It's drawing extra birds and other creatures. There are a lot of things that will eat poop, and none of them are things you want in town.
He'll
I promise there is no poop golem.
as he gets closer.
That
Oh, is that a
exists.
possibility?
It was a possibility.
As he gets closer, he'll take out a scented scarf and just wrap it around and tie it.
Do you have more of those?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. He'll untie it and offer it to you. I only have the one. I should have mentioned that. I didn't think to.
It's just,
No. I insist.
I'm sure my constitution can handle it.
I will.
I am not
That's
such a
a good
delicate
idea.
flower. I'll
I
see if I
have
have
a bit of-
anything.
Cloth probably all in that area anyways, like that's a fairly typical piece of like adventuring gear,
Yeah.
A bandana.
or like a bit of scarf of some sort.
Mhm.
So I tie it up around my face, and you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few sticks of my incense and crumble them up and rub them all over it.
Smart.
Yes, I
I'm
will
gonna do
share.
that. I will just mimic you.
I will
Great.
share my incense with you. Peppermint and lavender are nice and strong.
So you wrap your bandanas around your face or your scarves, and there is a wrought iron gate that leads to a set of stairs that descend into the heart of the mountain.
I'll go over and unlock the gate if it's.
Absolutely, it's a large padlock about the size of a fist that it looks like it's been looped. Well, someone would have locked it when they didn't return, so more people wouldn't go in after them. But it looks like it has a place for a key on either side, so that they could have gotten out, as well as places for sconces along the walls.
Perfect.
You unlock it, and the rusty chain slides out with a series of staccato thunks, and the gate will open.
After you.
All right.
And stay close, I only have the one key. And after they enter, I'll lock it behind us. And I will take out and light one torch and put it in one of the sconces near the entrance, so that kind of as a sign that somebody went down there.
Okay. You descend almost 50 feet. A zigzagging stairwell that takes you imagine a total of about 15 meters into the side of the mountain. And as it comes to a straightaway, those of you who can see in the dark, do you have dark sight?
Nope.
Okay, so you can see you have a torch you're using, and you
Torch.
have a light.
I probably have my own. Yeah, well, if she's got a light, I'll just... Sweet.
Okay. So you a bit further than him.
Actually, I'd totally forgotten. It's been so long since I played generic that I forgot dark vision. I would have touched something on him too.
Okay.
Yeah, we both have dark vision.
Would you have done it to the hammer when you handled it?
No, because that would be impractical because it's on his back, and then his head would be casting shadow. And
The little badge.
yeah, probably.
So an aura of sunlight is going to drift away from you, and as you step down, there's an archway at the bottom of the stairwell. And you may have been in a sewer before in your life, but it wasn't like this.
Actually, well, we were just in a sewer not that long ago.
Were you?
Really?
Where was it?
It was underwater.
Oh.
That was technically a sewer.
Yeah, I guess technically that was a sewer. All right, it was a storm drain.
Like one of our very first adventures was in a sewer.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, but I think that's
It
one
was
of...
just much cleaner than usual.
That's...
Things were living in it.
Oh, that's the one that hasn't been uploaded yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get on that. All right, so as you step down, you'll see the incense is masking, as you breathe through, staleness and mildew, but nothing much worse than that at the moment. This room that you're in is almost 10 meters wide and 20 meters long. A central platform, a bridge across the fairly clean, slightly mossy water on either side stretches the length of the room, but about 10 feet, about 20 feet in, it's crumbled away for a 15-foot section. So coming down from here, you can see that there are 6 pillars that support the roof, which itself is almost 25 feet tall. At one point, were this not attached to a sewer, you would assume that this might have been a bathhouse.
Has this always been a sewer?
I can't honestly say what it was before.
I'm surprised that the bridges crumbled when it seems you've got taken very good care of this area. Was it crumbled earlier? Do you know?
As you're asking me this, I'm going to carefully step on the water, like very cautiously. Like, is it
feels
working?
like normal ground.
A ring will go from around your foot where you make contact with the water, but it holds your weight strongly.
Sorry. I just wanted... What was the question?
Just the bridge. Has it been broken long?
As far as I know.
Why don't you make me, you're not down in this section very often, if ever, so let's find out. Make me a history roll.
Bam!
You have no idea. This is your first time in this area before.
I've never been in this area.
That's a nice 2.
Yep.
Nice 2.
A 3 with my bonus.
There are a lot of tunnels in Dog Run Bridge. It's a mountain bridge.
It's almost like a maze under here. It's quite impressive, but unfortunately this is one of the areas that I haven't been in.
Is this the way that the workers went?
Yes.
Is this...
As far as I'm aware,
Were they trying to... Why were they down here exactly? Did you say that already?
I think they were looking into the blockage.
Which couldn't be accessed from the main routes.
I believe they've already been investigated. We're trying to figure out where it is. Like I said, this entire place is like a maze under here. It's quite easy to get lost. And we have sent other parties down in other areas just to see where it is. Like I think something with one of the quakes just might have like created a block somewhere along the way, and that's why nothing's going where it's supposed to go.
Would anyone like to make an investigation check here?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Yeah.
Maybe if I don't get enough, if this roll sucks too, I'm gonna switch
18.
dice.
Nice.
19.
Do you want
It's
different
an
dice?
8. I have different dice with
19?
me, don't worry.
So, as you're saying this, you're like, I have no idea, you know, and both of you will go up and take a look, and you'll actually see that, no, the stonework is pretty old, and actually, you may make me a history roll on the stonework. You will have advantage on this for dwarf.
I mean, I don't really need it. I rolled a 19.
We're rolling, and you might get a 20.
No, 18.
Oh, sorry, one wrong
Well,
one.
the 19 turns into a 20
So,
with the +1 for history.
so looking down, you can see this stonework is easily as old as the bridge. It may predate it, depending. No, it does. Probably about 500 years. So Dogrun was built on top of an existing settlement, but the stone has been broken for quite a while. And as you're both peering down, you can see where it looks like the halflings brought an extendable ladder down here. You can tell because there are parts of it there 10 feet down in the water where it's been smashed to pieces.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, the bridge has been broken for a while.
So they must have
Looking
used
at
the
it,
extendable ladder as a makeshift bridge.
Like,
Did you?
nice stonework. It's been here a long time. Long time, like 500 years before Dogrun was built.
Before my time.
So I guess this wasn't always a sewer then.
Probably not. This looks like it was a settlement that... This was here before Dogrun was built, so they must have built Dogrun on top of it.
Some of the great cities in the world are often built on top of
Yeah.
the old ruins of others.
But
yeah, I know.
The broken bridge isn't a concern. The fact that their ladder they used to cross it is smashed is a concern.
Well, only one way we're going to help them out. And
Yeah.
that's get right in there.
You'll see the pieces as she gestures down to it.
Does this look like the water level was always this high? Like, is this area flooded?
It's hard to tell without getting next to the walls. If you wanted to walk across and check the walls, you could.
I do, because if they have a bridge like that and they didn't just like swim across, like for whatever reason, like if it's smashed, did it fall? How did it break?
Okay. So you can
I'm gonna look
make me another investigation roll
with a different dice.
with a different dice.
If I fuck this up, I'll just mention the idea and pass it on.
All right.
Well, that's a 12.
Total.
Yeah.
Okay. So looking around, you can see that there are different places of erosion along the walls. It looks like there's a shadow about. The water's about 10 feet deep. It looks like the shadow is at about half that. You think that that's probably where the water line used to sit and eroded away the wall a bit there?
But I probably have no idea how long it's been.
No idea at all. That would be, you'd have to use some pretty advanced, like, medieval science.
Yeah.
But looking around, you can see that there's quite a bit of... Actually, the one thing I will say is, looking down, you can see chunks of stone where the bridge looks like it had crumbled away. Down at the bottom. You can't quite tell, but if you mention it to your friends, maybe they'll have a chance.
Yeah, no, there's pieces of the bridge down there, and if you look, I have no idea how long it's been, but the water level has definitely changed here.
So looking down, you'll see. I'm just going to give it to you with that roll you made earlier, as Teah addresses the chunks of bridge that have collapsed into the water eons ago. You'll see that some of them have very rounded edges. So the water here must have been mobile at some point. And as you look down and notice that, you'll hear the sound of rushing water overhead. And to the left and to the right of the bridge, a gout of water will just gush through. And the temperature inside of this chamber drops a noticeable 10, 15 degrees.
Well, I guess
I'm never gonna get
they
used
managed
to the
to
weather
fix
here.
the blockage somewhere.
It must be maybe a snow melt?
Is that normal?
What?
That
Yeah, it's,
gush? That
I'm assuming it's like portals in the wall is designed for it.
is this
Yeah, no.
drain? Is anything draining from here?
No, the water level will rise a full inch.
All right.
Oh, okay. We
let's
are
get
on
across.
clock then.
Get some rope, go down and try and cross and go back up the other side.
I mean, it's not that far down. You can just jump.
Oh yeah.
It's
Right.
like 5 foot probably.
Oh, I want to also try and take.
Oh, you mean to the water?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe 5 feet.
Okay. I want to take a look at the step ladder though. The broken extendable ladder.
Sure.
I doubt it, but see if there's any indication of what happened, caused it to break.
Okay.
Investigation, I guess.
You may.
21.
It is a nat 20. That's fantastic.
Nice.
So looking down at it, you can... Well, you can't touch it because you're floating in water. It's basically, you're a mime right now. You're going to see the strangest thing. It's a... There's a claw that's broken off in the side of the bridge. About the size of 2 of your fingers. And it's, you can barely see it, but just it catches the side of just the edge of the light from your medallion, and you'll see that it's a yellowish calcified claw that looks like it's ripped out. It's got bits of rotting sinew attached to it, slowly rotting, actually bloated.
Does this stop me from being able to reach into the water?
I don't think so. It just means you can walk. Literally, it just says your ability to move across any liquid surface, such as water, acid, mud, snow, quicksand, or lava, as if it were harmless solid ground.
So if you lay on it, you can reach down, I suppose.
I'm going to try.
Sure, you can do so. And you'll pull it up, and it's a slightly hooking claw. Quite large.
Do I have any idea what this is from?
You know what? Why don't you make me an animal handling roll? Or survival.
I'll go for survival.
Go for survival.
Did you find something over there?
Yeah, 12.
It looks rodent? Maybe canine? Druid.
I also do a survival roll.
Both of you may do a survival roll.
Oh, wish me luck on
18.
yet another dice. Come on, come on.
Come on,
I
dice.
believe in you.
Was that a 4?
That's a 4.
You're like...
So
you're
7 total.
What is this tooth? Looks like a
Oh, if
giant...
we survival, then it's 10. But
So you're like, it's a claw.
it's a claw.
It looks like a rat claw, but immense.
It looks like rat claw, but way too big.
I've seen some rats down here, but nothing that would...
I guess. Sorry,
Oh,
I'm
nope, he's left-handed.
super
Hammer,
distracted.
shield.
Alright.
Let's keep
Well,
going.
let's keep going because we don't have much time, it looks like.
Oh no, I'm sure we'll save him just fine.
Well, I mean, with the water level rising, I don't think we've got.
We'll find a way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go. How many are missing?
3.
Did they say 3? Okay.
And with luck, we'll find all of them
Alive and
at
mostly
least
well.
at least alive. We can do the rest from there.
All right. Do you continue onward?
Yes.
You walk across the expanse, dropping down the 5 feet off the bridge onto the water. It's so surreal. Your footsteps slapping into the water like it was bare, dry earth. But still there are ripples. And you walk, leaving these ripples beneath you. For a moment, you might imagine what it would be like to walk across a goldfish pond.
This... Thank you. I cannot express how cold it gets in this place when you get wet.
Well, especially since that looks like it's 10 feet deep. We've just completely submerged.
Keep in mind that this won't stop things from coming at us from below.
I'm used to swimming and waddling my way through it, so...
I mean, sometimes it's easy to forget when you're able to walk on it so easily.
Might be strange coming from somebody who's completely decked out in plate mail.
Whatever.
With a little hoist, you can make your way back onto the other side of the bridge. And from there, it's a quick walk through another archway. And that... I love magic. I'm like, this will take them a good 10 minutes. And then... Great.
I am glad I did not have to swim.
Same.
On the other side, there is a sloping, flat ramp that takes you down about 10 more feet. And then you're into the type of sewer that you know. Swooping pipes made of stone cut into the ground with precarious stone perches on either side. Occasionally you'll see where rotted or fresher planks of wood have been laid across to allow access. You'll walk up ahead and you'll see that this corridor goes off in a fork to the left and to the right. What do you do?
I'm going to walk up to the fork and using the light beam from my badge, try and see if I can find any tracks.
All right, you can make me a survival roll to do some tracking.
Yeah, I was going to do the same thing.
Sure, you may.
We're
I'll
all just trying to
aid.
get ideas.
I'll aid somebody else in that.
Okay.
So one of you take advantage.
How many points do you have in survival, Amy?
I have 6, so that would give me a
Okay.
total of 17.
You take point and
So you have
get
advantage.
So
Okay.
roll again.
Make that a 25.
Nice.
Okay. So, glancing around, the smell is actually not bad. It smells like a dirty bathroom in here. But that's it. It's like that slight tinge of
I probably smelled much worse.
you can barely
latrines
smell
and
it.
things.
It's honestly starting to confuse you a little. The water here does look like it's slowly dripping in from the walls and from other pipes, but it's not that bad. You can smell, I don't know, kind of smells like someone might have peed here at some point in the past. Maybe. It's like walking around downtown.
So,
You've smelled bars that are worse than this.
and latrines that have smelled way worse.
Oh, yeah. Well, latrines are
Yeah.
way cleaner than bars that I've been to.
Ew.
But looking around, you can see that there are some definitive sludge tracks. Just the barest outline of them, but you can see between the cracks of the stonework, and as well one large footprint on the middle of a wooden bridge off to the left.
When you say large, is it like...
Well, large is respected to the other traces, but this one's halfling sized.
Okay. So not like little rats scurrying around.
Yeah, not like really little rats scurrying around. But at the same point, make me a perception roll, everyone.
Sounds dangerous.
16.
That's a 12.
20.
Okay,
Woo! Ah!
it's dead.
Oops.
Gone forever!
All right. So
It's not-
you're very focused on what you're looking at.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, so they went down this way, that way, and across that makeshift bridge. You hear a slight rustling to the right, the other direction, the one that the half-orc isn't looking at. But you can hear very, very audibly the sound of metal on metal. You know that it's like change, or you know what? It's like panning for gold. that metal on metal of water rushing two objects against each other. That rhythmic.
Going to, and that's from the right path?
That's from the right, yeah, the other direction.
I'm going to take a few steps towards it.
Okay.
And, hello?
Wait, where are you going? There's tracks saying that way.
Yeah, but there's sound from this way.
You hear that too?
Yeah. Sounds like...
Well, call out in
No?
halfling. Hello?
There's no response. That noise continues for you, Malia.
I'm gonna stop and listen to try and hear what they're talking about.
Alright. You can make me another roll.
Can I, with advantage because they're pointing it out?
Let's see what the first one looks like. Let's see, with advantage, obviously.
That's a 1. A different
Too much
dice.
orcish death metal.
Yeah.
That's a 17.
Alright, so you will hear the sound. And as she moves closer to you and you step closer, you'll hear the sound of that clinking as well.
Could just be something that got flushed, that got caught in the drain.
Let's maybe just see. Let's just go a little ways and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
You
will
don't
take
want
out the chalk I bought in the market and mark on the wall which direction we went,
Alright.
Yeah.
which way we came from, and which way we went.
Okay.
I normally just use the back of the hammer. I need some chalk.
I'll do it as high up as I can, so hopefully, and then dry as a spot as I can find, so
Okay.
hopefully it doesn't get washed away.
Okay, well, I definitely see some prints heading that way and down that tunnel, so
Well,
I guess we'll take a look here.
just not too far though.
Yeah.
We're
Let's just see if we can figure out what that sound is, maybe, real quick.
So, you head off to the right. The branch takes you diagonally down, coming down in a V shape from the door that you entered. Moving to the right, it branches off again. But the sound of almost like coins bouncing against each other is to the right. You think to the right. You're pretty sure. Can I get... You're making your way through just pretty naturally? Or how are you moving?
I'm
I'm gonna be a bit careful, like moving.
Sure. Well, why
still watching my steps, seeing if there's anything on the ground that I'm noticing.
being observant, but I'm not concerned with being quiet or
Okay.
taking a slower pace.
Sounds good. So why don't I get stealth off of both of you if you're trying to be stealthy?
I'm not necessarily being stealthy, I'm just watching my step
Okay.
and being careful.
Then that's not a problem at all. So you're next to a
Yeah.
man in plate mail. I don't think you need to be stealthy.
No.
So just give me 1 second. Hey.
Well, at least if we keep to the right, then we know that on our way back we just take a left and a left. So,
I will keep chalk marking,
Now,
so that we don't have to try and remember when we're maybe panicked.
as you step off to the right, you notice that the water level here, there's a slight sloping. And as you are going, the water is moving a bit faster here. So it is flowing through here. And the water is rushing with that same rhythm. Clink, 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 clink,
something's
clink.
gotten caught.
And then up ahead you see it. There's a grate. A small circular grate about the size of a man's arm's width. Most of it has been rusted out over time, but there are a few objects that are slamming against it. There are a few coins. It looks like pretty low. You'd have to reach into the sludge for them. You think probably bronze, copper, maybe. But above it, you'll see... It looks like a pipe. It's about this long, metal, with a flared end, almost kind of looks like a flute, but without the holes.
That's weird.
You actually, looking at it, where you come from actually uses these a lot. That's for a blowgun. Like that's a blow tube for darts.
What is... I'm gonna go over to that and grab it. What
And
is this doing here?
as he holds it up, you get a good look at it actually. It looks like a blowgun.
Huh.
It's been fairly badly mangled by its repetitive slamming against the side of the wall.
Where does this water come from? Like, is it like
Looks like
the way we came? Like, did it come around?
Yeah, it's flowing downward.
So it could have come from the way we were going to go, or is this a okay?
It could. There's a maze of pipes that keep feeding water in here. You imagine that these pipes, ancient as they are a spider web network beneath the mountain.
So honestly, it could have come from any of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
But one thing you'll notice holding this up, it's steel, and it's banged to hell. It was painted at one point too, actually, to be very ornate and black. But the paint has been stripped away by wear. But in spite of that, there's not a drop of rust, not a grain of rust on this. This is new.
He'll just hold it in his hand and look at it.
Do you roll it over in your hand?
Yeah.
Can you make me an investigation check? And anybody who's helping look at it can also roll or aid Chris.
Nope.
Nat 20, baby.
I'll roll, but I don't expect to get all of this money.
Is that insight or...
This is perception. Or investigation. This is investigation specifically, actually.
Okay,
It's
21 then.
18 for me.
You will see... You'll see a very battered and barely recognizable pattern. It looks like a guild insignia of a spider. Now, with that nat 20 and guild knowledge, there's a thieves guild. Well, thieves and is it a thieves guild?
Try.
My apologies, actually. Sorry, I got my notes mixed up because I have way too many notes.
Can I cast mending on it? Would that make a difference to straightening it out, or?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it would just fix like a break in it, or if it would.
No, it would basically just resets it.
Then yeah, I will cast mending. I'll just be like, hey, let me take a look at that.
So, looking at it, sorry, my long day is catching up to me. Hold on one second.
Yeah. It takes me about a minute to cast it anyway.
All right. You will smooth it back, and you'll see that it looks like it is. It's definitely one of the thieves' guilds, the Black Spiders.
Wait, have
Do
we encountered them
I
before?
know anything about the black spiders?
Oh, hey! Look who you are. Yeah, go ahead and make me there'll be a history roll. Because Streetwise doesn't exist. And I have to go find my notes.
20.
20. Give me 1 sec to look up my old notes, because this is a side plot you guys didn't get to like 10 seconds ago.
You're welcome.
All right.
Side quest, that means bonus XP, right?
Yeah. Okay, so hold on. Pull for first item. Nope. You already did that. So the Black Spiders is a particularly potent network, a spider webbing network of thieves and smugglers who work in conjunction with a couple of cleric ministries. One is obviously Zalos, the god of trickery, because everybody works with him. Them. Her. Depends on the day. But not regularly enough you can set a clock to it. And the other is they often deal as well with clerics and followers of Hisk, the god of assassins and murders. And this type of delivery system is, blowguns of this type are used for one of two things. Either delivering something that'll knock you out or something that'll knock you off. This is obvious. To you, this feels like a murder weapon in your hand.
I need to bring this to the jarl.
They haven't really... Have they been active here?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm not too familiar with this particular group, I'm afraid.
Mostly it's just a network of thieves and smugglers, but occasionally this group works with the Church of Hesk. Or Hisk?
Hisk.
Hisk.
Like a hiss. Well, you have a slight accent, so... Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. And there's only two reasons to have something like this.
Yeah. Okay. So there could be more going on here than we realized.
Actually, looking down, you'll also notice that among the coins, there's one last thing, and it's kind of weird. It looks like a dog tag.
Oh, I'm grabbing that.
Cool.
Going right in.
Rusty.
Hey, can I also cast mending on that to help fix it up?
Yeah, the name on the tag is Rusty.
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's heart shaped
Gotcha.
and it is very rusty, but then the rust will just corrode off, and it's a bright red copper heart.
Huh.
That has been hammered down to a nice flat surface and says, Rusty, if found, please return, and we'll list a house on Coromir Street in the 2nd District.
Huh. That's some weird jewelry.
It is.
It's a pet tag.
And can you put I'm just going to put that down there. And please
on the
arrange yourselves around the grate.
Just going... Who puts tags on their pets?
You want to put this behind you guys?
Here? Okay.
Wow.
Is this where's the edge of this? Like, is it...
So
Like here?
the yeah.
Okay.
So the outline there is the walk space that's above the water.
Okay.
So you know how a sewer is, right? You're like
Yeah,
tap, tap, and then it goes under. You've seen
So
a
we're
video.
basically standing on the water.
Well, you can, so you might as well, right?
Yeah. Get close to it.
Behind you, though, you hear thump, thump.
Can I try and step in front of the other two?
I mean,
You're
you're
going
in
to
front
push
of
back
us.
through us.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and take
Yeah.
a look.
I'm going to pull my hammer free and turn around.
As you turn, a figure is cast into silhouette in front of your light. A long, thin shadow erupts along the back wall as your light hits, and it's a bent and emaciated, bald man, covering his face with a hand as the light touches him. He reaches out toward you.
Does this look like a person or like something else? I'm gonna go no.
Ooh, that hurts my throat. He screeches and will charge you. So here, put this figure on the board.
That's creepy as
That's really freaking
And
weird.
can I get an initiative roll?
In
Yeah,
fact,
sure.
I'm going to show the camera because this is creepy.
Creepy.
That I love those things.
Look at that sucker. Creepy AF. So it's back here.
Yeah. All right. So initiative time. Well, that's pretty damn good. All right. So if you have 20 or up. Okay. So me.
Damn it.
19. 15 and up. 18.
18.
I got an 11.
Dex mods.
1.
Okay. So same time.
Players actually get to choose between themselves when they tie. Would you like to go first, or would you like me?
You know what? Let's have you go first.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris can go first.
CBCR. All right. And then Amy.
11.
The creature at the end of the hall shrieks as the light hits. And surges forward, screaming. And you're in front?
I was going to try and move in front
Well,
if
he
there was
wasn't in
time.
front yet.
All right, so it's going to do a full move up to Malia, and it shrieks at you. Its jaw distended from where the jaw bones have fallen away from the skull and are only held up by the barest bit of sinew. It's with fetid breath, it screams at you, and you're looking into the eyes of an undead creature. And 2 strikes with deadly precision are going to arc out and strike you. Your armor class is below... Okay, that's 2 hits.
Okay.
Okay. Whoop. Oh, that was pretty easy. All right, so you're going to take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as 2 lightning-fast strikes of bone covered in rotted flesh collide with your face. You've seen these type of moves before. And as this creature moves closer, you can see that rotting strands of saffron robes cling to the skeleton. This thing moves like Jason.
Okay.
And it's going to take a 5-foot step back into the right to disengage.
Okay. Well, as my reaction,
Okay, there we go.
it must make a dex saving throw.
Back into the
I'm going to
side.
re-roll that because that went in my mug.
Wait, which way?
Okay, I got a 5. Actually, I got an 8.
Okay, that does not succeed.
Okay.
Okay, and I am going to use my channel divinity to make it auto-take full damage.
Okay.
Zap, zap.
So how
It
much?
gets hit for 2d8 lightning damage.
So 16 damage?
Yeah.
All right, so that turns into 4.
So,
I think I can use my channel twice now. I just need the book.
Cool. All right, so you'll see as it strikes her and starts to move away, a static electricity will build up along the corridor and arc down into it and illuminate the corridor with a bright flash of light that sears it deeply. It's going to take a 5-foot step back, as it just did,
yeah.
to disengage, and now we are at
No, it's next time I get
Chris.
super rest.
With 30 feet of movement, can I get behind it?
It will.
I won't be leaving its threat zone, so... I'm not sure if you use flanking rules or not.
I think you can.
Alright, cool.
Just don't tip the table.
Bam!
So you're staying in its threat space the entire time? Okay.
And I'm going to attack it.
Gonna.
It's hammer time.
It's hammer time. So first one is a 20.
That is a hit. And this is bludgeoning, correct?
This is bludgeoning. And
Okay. Go ahead.
bludgeoning with a magic weapon, and I'm going to use a first level spell slot to Divine Smite it. So that's 3. So that's an extra... Yeah?
Yep. Go for it.
2d8 damage. Oh, do you have another one?
Yes, I
Sorry.
have several.
Let me know if it takes extra damage from Radiant.
Actually, this one does not.
Okay, cool. So that's...
Give me your weapon damage separately, please.
Okay. It is a magic, if that helps. So the weapon damage, that was 9, so would be 12, and then 9 radiant.
Okay, so double your bludgeoning damage and tell me what you get.
Oh, 24 bludgeoning and 9
Did
radiant.
you roll 9 bludgeoning?
12.
Oh.
9 was the radiant.
Damn. Okay. So there is another explosion of light that follows that lightning bolt, and you are going to collide your hammer with its chest. You can feel the bones splinter in, caving in its chest. This thing is barely held together. You literally rattle its bones.
That's 1.
Okay.
23.
Yep. And reversing the blow, can you do me a favor? Don't worry about this. Tell me what happens to this thing.
I'm just gonna come down like between its neck and its shoulder and just try and smash it as hard as I can into the ground with one hand.
All right, he's going to hit it so hard, its head is going to fly off and bounce against the wall, and the entire skeleton is going to collapse in half.
And then I'm going to spit on it.
The flesh will burn off of its bones. The putrid rot, suddenly smelling almost slightly floral, like burial flowers. And the outline of a ghostly figure will be silhouetted behind it for a moment before fading away. The body is going to collapse into the fetid water.
Are you hurt?
A little.
Do you need assistance?
Wow.
That should be good.
So, carry on. Yeah. No, just go hammer team.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen something like that down here before.
That's not something you see every day.
We should try and find the halflings as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And stay close. And are you sure you
No
don't
kidding.
need assistance?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay.
We should save our healing spells.
I'm gonna go to the washroom. Excuse me.
All right. So, that was a much faster fight than I'd expected. Damn.
Go
Divine
hammer time.
Smite!
Divine Smite.
Yeah.
Paladins are nice.
I think it
hammer
was
time.
the bludgeoning weapon that helped more, though.
Yeah, the bludgeoning was pretty handy. I'm just looking up.
Even though I think, like, in most situations with the undead, you'd think it would be the radiant.
All right. So, as he collapses to the ground, you'll notice that he has a medallion that floats to the top of the water.
I'll cautiously inspect that.
It looks like it's made of wood, wrapped around a braided cord that was probably at one point gold and black, intertwined into a rope.
Does this mean anything to either of you?
I will look
Pass
at
it
it
to you.
and see if I recognize it.
So looking at it, I can tell you already that you won't,
Okay.
but it's similar design to the type of heraldry you've seen attached to Jason's things.
It looks like it's probably a... Oh, excuse me. A monk order of some sort. I don't recognize the exact design, but it looks similar to stuff that our friend carries.
It looks almost kind of like a cloud.
Wait, so you have a friend who's involved with things like that?
He's a fucking monk, dude. They all have their own heraldry. It's this sort of type wood, etc., cord.
I don't believe she's referring to the part of being dead.
That's what I was referring to.
That's a very bad drawing, but
Right,
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Is it something it's just like a...
it looks like some of the things you've seen Jason wear, or the things on his scabbards.
Yeah, but it's not one that he has.
No. Obviously, it's a very different school.
This wouldn't be the...
where's your friend from?
monastery, monk place thing. Abbey, I don't know. Somewhere up in the mountains. Does this look like a cloud? What does it look like?
It looks kind of like a cloud-ish. More like the swirls of something you like swirling ink in water, like a plume.
Okay. So not the fast cloud.
It's not the fast cloud. No.
Okay.
No.
It's just like a... I've never seen anything like this before, have I?
I will give both of you a chance to make me an insight roll to remember. If you roll super duper well, you may have a chance.
I haven't seen anything anywhere near
this is an in-character thing for...
You said insight? It's a 19 for me.
Holy shit, really?
I have 8 on insight, okay?
Holy crap. Alright.
It is my number one skill, which is wisdom.
So
Well,
20 in
in
wisdom.
that case, I was assuming that you weren't going to be able to do this. So,
Oops.
you have seen this, actually. In a really strange place. When you went up to testify on Marisol's behalf, you remember there was a man there with a kind of darker skin and a shaved head. Paulo Tang, the monk who was on trial for working with the Fast Cloud, had a tattoo on the side of his chest you could see through his open robe. Of that.
I will. That guy that was on trial.
Yeah.
At the same time as Marisol, the monkly kind of dude. He had a tattoo.
Someone else who was recently on trial?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to the washroom while you roleplay this.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
he was-
I'm sore.
I wonder if it's connected to Paulo. Maybe. I wonder if that man was, or that thing was connected to Paulo Tang.
Who knows?
The man has no honor and is
Oh.
very brutal.
I'm sore.
He works with the Fast Cloud.
Yeah. That's definitely a different sect than our friend.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is.
If your friend is, well, people can branch out in different directions, and so can organizations. But
Be quick.
if that's related to, or that thing is related to Paulo Tang, I think we're in a bit more trouble.
What?
Oh,
What can you tell us about him?
About Paulo Tang?
Yeah.
Only that he was arrested. He was caught aiding the Fast Cloud, beating people, murder.
you think that one of the guys that he was fighting isn't going to walk again. But he's the type of man that when he walks into a room, the lights dim and you know that death is coming. There's an aura of menace around him. You know killers from your background.
Yeah. The man's a killer. And he's brutal. It's good that he's been arrested.
And this might have been one of his... I don't know.
The corpse looked quite decayed.
Yeah. And maybe they had a disagreement.
Or it could be completely
Unrelated.
Could be unrelated. You're right, but
because it looks like quite an old corpse that was raised.
it,
I mean, could it be connected to that?
Would you like to make me a religion roll, actually?
Nope.
Okay.
can I make a religion roll?
Yes, you may.
I rolled a 1.
Religion!
I'm brain farting on this one.
14.
You'd say that this thing has been, to be that decayed and undead, probably some bad circumstances around his death, but also years to rot into that state.
Could it be connected to whatever that undead city place? What was it called?
Grimstead.
Don't get me started on Grimstead.
Like, he's obviously coming from underground. Could he have made his way here somehow?
That's
Maybe
kind of what I was
they're
wondering.
connected to the Claywinds.
Yeah. Well, let's keep moving.
For some reason, Grimstead has been it's rumored that they're letting the army through.
Let's take it.
I
Wait,
don't
no.
know why they would do that, but
Grimstead, as much as it's a foul place, tends to keep their neutrality on things like this. It's very strange that they're letting the Claywinds through.
he wants
It doesn't
to
bode well.
of some sort.
That's another problem we need to take care of, and quickly. But let's find the halflings.
What was it? Paulo Tang? How do you...
Paulo Tang.
how do you spell
Like
that?
Paul O, and then Tang, like the beverage.
Okay. Just making sure.
His mom was cool.
Yeah. Tang. All right. You
Unless one of them wants to, I'm going to lead the way and go back to...
Head back to that original branch.
yeah.
Alright. So moving down the way, you can see where she pointed out that sludgy footprint.
And it's still there. It hasn't
Yeah, it hasn't evaporated.
Okay.
Actually, if everyone's here, make me an investigation check. Because I'm assuming you're looking around for more tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I aid somebody?
And like, can
Yeah,
we see? Especially, I kind of as we're doubling back, I want to see
Do you want the aid? You can have the aid.
where if there was any
What do
obvious
you
way that
have
the
for
thing-
investigation, Amy?
Oh, investigation. Just a +1.
Okay, me too. So that's 15.
15?
I rolled a 2.
Well, you get to roll again because Chris is helping.
That's true. I'd say an 11.
Okay. So looking around, it's actually... You'll find the trail really easily. There's a route that it looks like they took, planks that have been set down that are fresher. They probably came in here with some wood to help go through some of these not so fun corridors. But as you're looking around, it clues on you first that aside from a little bit of sludge on the bottom of their boots, the sludge itself down here is strangely devoid of gross material. The water's not, I mean, you wouldn't want to drink it, but there's nothing floating on top. There's nothing, it's clean-ish. It's brackish, but it's not sewage.
Weird. Must be from different set of drains then. She knows nothing about plumbing.
Okay.
Yeah.
She just figures this isn't where the sewage comes in. Obviously that's somewhere else. This must be like stormwater.
Or it's being consistently washed through.
There's a good chance.
Has the water level been rising
Yeah.
more? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the
just
lower
not
you
draining.
get,
Okay.
it's still not draining.
Even though it's moving.
As you continue downward, you'll actually find that the water is beginning to crest almost to the tip of the walkways, which for you isn't much of a problem.
But that's not right.
It's not. And as you round another corner, working your way deeper into the system, floating atop of the water, you can see a couple of furred corpses, about the size of a small loaf of bread, about this big.
Those are they rats?
Huge ones.
Yeah.
Their heads looks like they've been bashed in.
Have you ever seen rats that big before?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that they'd be down here, like sewers.
I think we should quicken our pace.
Yeah.
Give me a survival check to continue your tracking.
Oh, there's a footprint over there.
Who are you helping? That was cocked. You can reroll it.
Yep.
I saw
You
it.
mean
I saw it
survival?
landed on your
Okay.
inspiration.
Yeah, because that was that would have been my. So I have advantage then.
Yes, you do.
Hey. So that's a 14, so 20.
20.
20.
So looking around, you can see there's a number of strange phenomenon that are just interesting here. The walls, the lower you get, the temperature is raising.
That's weird. It should get colder the deeper you go.
It should. But there's moss and bits of fungi growing along the walls and ceiling.
How's the air here? Like, is it
Thick.
so it's like stale air? Like it's
Yeah. The water is not moving as quickly now. And as you listen, you can hear the sound of it lapping in the distance, like it's slapping against stone.
Yeah. Okay. Let's speed up here. But this is
There's a lot not right down here right now.
All right.
yeah. This is. I think this has been like this for a while. I have no idea how long, but for it to be this. I want to say dead, but not quite. The air, like it's not moving.
Amy, can you do me a favor out of character?
Yes.
Please replace the chicken with the set.
The set.
Yeah.
This one, right?
Yep.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh my.
And can you just kind of lazily stuff these in the pipes?
Just kind of like over here, just like each of them, or like
Yeah.
kind of like.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
So you are coming from around the corner, basically. And to give you a sense of what this is supposed to look like, there are bits of stone that have collapsed into the central waterway. The water itself is almost at the very tops of those pipes. Now here, as you round the corner, the smell is like a wall. It's muck and mire, and there's bits of moss and other gross matter floating atop these pipes and floating atop the deep water that actually is going to crest and slosh over the walkways like the water at a swimming pool.
Yeah.
It laps at the side, and you can hear these various pipes and undercurrents suck it under.
I can find the clog.
And as you round the corner, a thought will appear in your head.
Food?
Is that much? What?
I don't understand it.
A thought, no, just a thought, like you think those words, but it's like it's not you thinking them. You feel the words well up inside of your head.
Be on guard.
No kidding. This is weird.
And then, at once, uniformly, a voice will... No, a thought will appear in all three of your heads. You'll imagine a halfling, actually one of the ones that should be down here. Vith. That stout halfling with the portly face, with the rosy cheeks, and you'll see him very kind of jerkily, like a cardboard cutout animated, walking back out the tunnel. Like he's leaving of his own volition, happily.
Do we all get this? Or just...
Yeah, all three of you at
So-
once.
Back out of the corner that we're in?
Yeah, basically you walk in and you get this mental image of like tick, 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 tick.
Vith, stop.
What?
It's just a thought for a second, and then it's gone. And then you'll
That wasn't...
think a sensation of hungry.
I'm going to use Detect Evil.
All right.
This is one weird frickin' place. All right. Divine Sense, sorry.
What does that allow you to do?
Until the end of my next turn, I know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of me that is not behind total cover.
All right.
I know the type.
That's okay. So using your sense out, I hate to do this to you, my friend, but glancing around, no more undead. No more celestials, no more fiends.
Okay.
No demons here. But there's something here. Now, the way ahead of you, basically beyond the halfway mark toward those pipes, the water is putrid. It goes from a slight grayish to an almost black, clumpy mess that sloshes against those pipes. What's your passive perception, all three of you?
Oh.
15.
16 here.
What's a passive perception?
All right.
12.
Your
No way.
So you said 15, 16?
16.
The two of you are going to hear... You said, Vith, stop.
Yep.
Echoes. Hello? 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 It's coming from the other side of the room near where that water's crashing against those pipes.
Oh, shit.
A smile appears in your heads. Too big, too wide, too many teeth, arranged in a crescent moon shape. It's happy. The thought is happy, but there's too many teeth. It's trying to be friendly, whatever's putting that in your head.
Oh, God. I'm going to go over there.
Okay.
I'm saying this. Watch
Careful.
my back.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cast Sanctuary
Okay.
on myself.
And what does that do?
It lasts for a minute, and I'm warding myself against attack until the spell ends. Any creature who targets me with an attack or harmful spell must first make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature has to choose a new target or lose the spell or attack. It doesn't affect or protect me from area of effect spells such as Fireball. And the Wisdom save that it has to make is against DC 15.
DC 15?
Yeah.
All right, so you can go ahead and you have a laser pointer on you, so you can move your figurine.
Where you
And
are.
is that here?
Yeah, so those are the pipes, and you are coming from the open area.
Up over here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're basically like...
So, and those are rickety wooden walkways that have been erected over the
Well,
years.
if we can walk on water,
And if the water is
I'm doing
that
a
high
Jesus.
Who?
then...
I'm doing Jesus.
Oh, Jesus, I know that guy. He works at the market.
Yeah.
He's
I'm just
a great
going
sledger.
straight.
So you're probably like here? How far can you...
If we were there, 30. I'll go there.
Yo there.
Yep.
I will move up a bit,
Yeah, same.
like here-ish, kind of like...
All right.
Or would you be like here?
Sure.
Okay.
So as you move up the tunnel or along the waterway, you can hear a little bit of the water sloshing in the distance, but also you can just see the outline of a shadow moving through the water. And then, just on the other side, right there. Where's my laser pointer? I had one. I'll just use this. Right there. Drifting over. You can see this small shape. It's about the size of a halfling's arm. Thin, and it's a little eyeball that sticks above the water and blinks at you.
I'm gonna climb up on the walkway beside me.
And then it'll look up at you. Splish. And we'll dive back under the water. So you're up on the walkway?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna look down and see if there's anything underneath me that I can see.
I'm gonna keep going towards the sound of the voice. Not the
Or the-
voice in the head, but the panicked halfling voice that I think
Yeah.
I hear.
Okay. You will have a sudden image.
How far do you get?
So as you move past the bridge,
I want to, as part of the, climbing up and move, I want to move forward about 10 feet 15 feet and touch one of the blocks of stone that I'm on that goes under the water and cast light.
Okay.
Because I want to light up that water.
See if we can.
All right. So that's going to
it-
give you partial illumination.
It throws bright light in 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional.
That is
20 feet.
clever. I'm gonna let this happen. So
That's awesome.
it's gonna be clouded and it's going to be partially obscured. So
Yes.
ranged attacks will suffer a penalty still, but not
it
total
should
cover.
at least help, hopefully.
So there's this small tentacle that as you step over that other barrier looks up at you, and you can hear a little trill from under the water. And then she touches, and Vela's light illuminates the water. And this little, it's almost like a sock puppet reaching up out of the water. And below it is a creature the size of an elephant. I need initiative.
Ooh, nice. That's a 21 from me.
21. All right. So anyone beat a 21? All right, and I'm gonna roll for friends.
Friends.
Okay. So Amy, you are going to be first. 15 and up.
17.
17. What'd you get, Chris?
12. Good old 12. Old reliable 12.
Good old reliable 12. All right, and so as it illuminates with water, or as the water is illuminated, there will be a sudden huge shape beneath you, and crashing out of the water with a showering the air with piss and shit, and sludge is this.
Oh no.
And please put this in front.
What is it?
So it's here?
It is
You
right.
ought to know what that is. Sorry.
So on your turn, you can make me a. Ooh, God, what would this be? What do you roll to figure out what an aberration is?
Arcana?
Yeah, I'll say Arcana.
I'd say nature too, because you
Sure.
can be
Right,
like,
no,
that
it's not
doesn't.
natural.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can do that on your turn as a move action, basically. Amy, it's
Yeah.
your turn. This thing
So-
crashes out of the water.
Can I do that roll and like try and jump to the side?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's dude, you want Arcana or Nature? It's a plus
Nature.
1 either way. So that's a 21 to figure out what the fuck this thing is.
It's an Audia. An Audia. It's a giant three-legged monster that
Like shit.
it eats sewer water. And they're generally pretty passive. A lot of places actually keep these as garbage disposals, but this one's huge. And
So, like,
that is what it
super
looks
overgrown.
like.
By huge, do you mean actual huge size, or is it only large?
It's only large, but it's huge. It's bigger than you've ever seen one of these before.
Cool.
I don't like this.
Do you yell what it is?
Yeah. And then I want to. Can I do this? Is there a lot of plants around here?
There's a lot of moss.
Can I cast plant growth
Yeah, sure, why not?
to try and trap this thing? I think is how it works.
Not with moss.
Not with moss.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
With trees, yes.
That's okay. Well, I'm gonna try and just use cast entangle then.
Okay,
That like stick it underground.
sure, that sounds great. So how does that work?
For up to a minute, it lasts for concentration. Grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in 20-foot square, starting from a point within range, which is up to 9 feet. For the duration, for a minute, the plants turn the ground area into difficult terrain.
All right.
So, creature in the area, when I cast the spell, must succeed a strength saving throw or be restrained by entangling plants until the spell ends. Creature restrained by the plant can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC
Okay.
on a successive creative spell.
So what's my save difficulty?
Your spell save DC is 14, so not super high. You're probably
Okay.
fine.
No, actually, I failed this first round.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So yeah, up to a minute or until I lose concentration.
So I'm entangled. So I have partial movement, basically. It's rough terrain.
It is. It is restrained until. Yeah, it's difficult terrain for the area And if it's in the area when I cast it, it's restrained.
Okay.
So I think it means it can't actually move.
It can't
Until
move. It can still attack with disadvantage, and it can try to escape on its
Let me
round.
see that. But crossing it makes it...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And your passive perception is 16?
Yes.
Fantastic. It's going to shriek loudly as suddenly out of the water, brambles and briars are going to grow up and start arcing into the sides of its leathery hide. And you are going to hear something coming up behind you, Amy. Can you do me a favor? Take this.
Oh no.
And please
put
it right there.
Here.
Yep. And Christine, your passive perception is 15?
Yeah.
Cool. Can you put this behind Christine? The other one is actually that size.
So they're both that size?
They're both that size. I only had the one figure that was that size, unfortunately.
Okay, which size is which?
They are both larger. They are both the size of they're rats the size of ponies.
No.
Christine, it's your round.
Do I hear the thing behind me?
It beat your passive perception, so no. You can spend your...
Shit.
I just needed to have it on the board.
Okay.
So what would you have done normally?
Flung my hammer at the other thing.
All right, so go ahead and make me an attack roll. You have advantage.
Oh, nice.
So all attacks against the Odia right now, or Odia, have advantage.
Cool.
Yeah, we haven't played in a month, so...
Like, I have no idea if this thing is, like, malevolent or not.
It looks like an animal, you think.
But
With that knowledge...
27 to hit.
Holy shit, yeah, that is absolutely a hit. So go ahead and roll me damage.
Okay, and I think it's 2d8. It's an extra d8 for ranged.
Cool.
And do I add anything to...
You have your strength.
damage? Strength mod, that's right. So...
You got this.
17 damage.
17 damage is quite good. Your hammer flies out, leaving your hand, collides with one of its tentacles, and you can see a spray of blood from where it's torn the hide off of a strip of it. Greenish black blood splashes the walls, and it will scream. I'm only going to do that once.
Look back. Nice.
And the hammer will go and fly back into your hand.
I throw it up.
Just in time for the creature behind you to go. And nat 20. However, you are immune to criticals. Non-magical criticals because of your adamantine armor.
Yes!
So I need... Where did I put my stats? So out of nowhere behind you, you will hear the sound of fur rustling and will turn as a giant. No, bigger than that. What the hell is this thing?
But it does successfully hit me?
It does successfully hit you, and it successfully misses its second attack. So the first one was a claw swipe. So that is going... Oh, that's a Ferret dice. I can't roll Ferret's dice for monsters. What? So you're going to take 8 points of slashing damage as the claws rake across your back.
Okay.
And suddenly you are face to face with something you can only refer to in your mind as a dire rat. No, those are smaller.
Make a dex save.
Okay, I will. I got a 17.
Okay, 1 sec.
Oh, wait, pardon me, 16. 16. These things aren't quite as agile as rats.
I think it is based on my spell save DC.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's the same, so... What did it make?
16.
And it's meet or beat, right?
It's meter beat.
Okay, it met.
Okay, so does it take half damage?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are getting a big XP encounter.
Okay, so that will be 4 lightning damage.
Alright. 2K. Alright, so electricity will build up and crackle through this thing as it hisses. And is going to snatch at you. All right.
Straight in the face.
Chris, what do you do?
Okay, first thing I'm going to do... No, I'm not going to do that then. You know what? I can't let these people get hurt.
Take on the big bad.
All right, I
You take
start beating
point.
on this.
All right.
So I've got advantage.
You have
against-
advantage
Yeah.
on both strikes.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, and how deep is the water? Is the, so if it was a
Oh.
20-foot cube, so I tried to point it underneath.
Yeah, you could have easily done that.
Does an 18 hit?
An 18 does hit. This thing's big. It's got natural armor, but not good for much.
So that'll be 12 damage.
Now, does Sanctuary break if you attack?
It's broken.
Okay.
And second attack,
So how much was the first one?
12.
Okay.
Second one is 15 to hit.
All right. Oh, 15 to hit?
Yep.
That is a hit.
6 damage. And then I'm going to shield... Wait, it's restrained?
Yeah, currently.
You know, I'm gonna just bash it with my shield and knock it to the ground.
You
So
can do a shield
rolls.
bash. It probably won't be knocked to the ground.
I can, I can use the shove, and make it fall prone or 10 feet away from me as he, with that feet.
It can't really move where it is, though, because it's being restrained.
Okay,
But maybe what if doing that makes it
It'll probably
Yeah.
lose, it might lose one of its actions, yeah.
so it maybe loses its next chance to break free of the restraints because it's been like
it'll be prone if it
knocked
breaks
off its
free.
feet or thing.
Go ahead.
So it'll still have to use half its move to get up, which will keep it from getting at those guys. So this is an opposed athletics check, or
19 plus 22.
Would it be disadvantage for being restrained?
Let's see, restrained. No, I have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, not strength.
Gotcha.
I am a tank.
I see.
so that's it.
So you're going to slam your shield into it, pushing back, and it's going to screech, and I have disadvantage on these, but...
AC 22.
Okay, so... Okay, so what's my attack? Plus 6. Okay, 2 misses, and my bite... can I spend... So I have to spend my entire action, or just an action?
It must use its action to take.
Okay,
make
its
a strength
action.
check.
Okay, so it's going to flail at you. 2 of its tentacles are going to slash by your face, barely missing, and its bite is going to come down right on top of you, and you're going to manage to wedge your shield into its jaws and hold it prone for a moment before shrugging it off of you. And now we are going, Amy,
Yeah.
behind you here. And then the thing charges you.
Okay.
I want to know your armor class, my friend.
My AC right now is 14 because
I'm gonna
we
switch
corrected
dice.
that issue, and I need to make sure I still have the concentration up if it hurts me.
14. So I have 16 and 16.
Okay, so that'll hit. Both will hit.
Okay.
Let's make a Constitution saving throw to maintain my concentration. So we'll do that.
That's more like it. 11. Was that
Well,
advantage?
7. I don't think I get advantage on my saving throw.
No,
for that.
but did you use inspiration? I mean,
I did not. Should I have?
did you? I don't know.
No, I did not use inspiration, so I will lose concentration on that spell.
Which one?
Entangle.
Yes.
So it is now free.
Yes.
The DC equals 10 or half the damage you take, whichever number is higher.
Okay.
And I got a total of 7. So
Okay, that's definitely going to fail. So you rush up, and it tries to lop your head off with its tentacles, and then its jaws come down around your shield, and you shrug it off, and then behind you, you'll hear a... And this thing will slash into your side, and then bite deep into your leg. I need you to make a Constitution save as well.
oh no.
You're going to take 17 points of damage.
Well, I rolled an 18, so that'll be a 22.
All right, you're gonna you feel angry. Holy shit, you're mad.
That was not high enough.
No, it was high enough, but you're just a half-orc who got bit in the leg by a giant rat. I'm pretty sure you're pissed.
Yeah, I'm pretty pissed.
These things are for eating, not for fighting.
That's true. I've probably eaten a rat before.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially a giant rat.
Yeah, it's home cooking. So, but you will scream in pain, and as you shrug its face off, you will see the brambles explode.
They go. How much damage do I take?
17.
17.
And that's piercing. Do you have piercing and slashing differentiation?
I don't think I have anything specific for those. No.
Okay, so that's good. Now we're at the top of the round, and it's you again.
Hold on, sorry, I just need to go to my calculator.
No, too fast, too furious.
It's mine at 17.
Oh, here you go, Chris.
29. So I've lost the spell. There's a thing behind me.
Oh, can you move it
These
up
are
to you?
for eating. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bear.
Okay. Does shapeshifting into a bear provoke?
Nope, it's a bonus action.
Hey, that's great.
It's just a turn bear.
So that's great. You basically just turn and go. "Oh!"
Basically, as I turn to attack it, I just bear.
All right. So go ahead and make me an attack roll.
Multi-attack, so I can attack with both bite and claws.
That sounds good. That's what it just did to you.
So I need to roll 2 dice.
All right.
I'm going to use inspiration on this.
Okay. On
if I
which
can.
which attack?
On my...
The bite's usually stronger.
Yeah, on the... yeah, on the bite.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So the bite is silver.
All right. Gimme. That's
It was a nat 20 on the bite.
Okay. Well, hell. So you're definitely critically that.
So
What
I
was the
used
purple?
inspiration, so there wasn't much point on that. Purple was the claws.
And
It
how
was
much?
18.
18? That's 2 hits.
Yeah, so it's 18.
Roll me double damage.
Yeah,
You
plus
bear
6
it.
to hit on both of those.
Yep,
So
trust me, you
26
hit it.
and, so yeah. So I guess that was wasted inspiration, but not really because, you know.
That you wouldn't
So
you
that was a
rolled a
crit.
1 without. It was a crit, so I
So
need you
I
to roll
need-
me double damage on your bite.
Yep, so that's 1d8.
Okay, so just roll
Just
2d8.
gotta make sure I get these right. So 1d8. Because I have a thing with my savage attacks, because they are treated as melee weapons.
Mhm.
When I score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice one more time and add it to the damage of the critical hit. So
Okay,
that's just my d8.
So roll 3d8.
I'm just gonna wreck this. They're made for eating. Where's my d8s? Do you have another one
Oh,
of my
yeah,
d8s?
I've got 2.
This is not a d8.
And 2d6. Okay. And then I add the plus 4 to just once?
Just
each?
once, yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be a total of plus 8 to my attack.
All right.
So that's a 7, 8, 9, 10, 16,
24.
21. Wait.
You said plus 8 to your attack?
Yeah, and I have a plus 5 here. Yeah, 16 plus 5 is 21.
21.
Plus 8.
29.
29.
So how does this go?
I turn around, claw, and then bite its head off.
So basically you pin it to the wall with a claw,
Yeah, pretty much.
and then so you bear down on it.
Yeah.
Your massive jaws wrapping around its pony-like neck.
With a
And just like down home when your mom used to make these rats on sticks,
Yeah.
you bite in and separate the spine from the rest of the meat and strip it out. Like pulling a ripcord.
basically.
And strangely delicious, slightly fetid blood will pump into your mouth in arterial bursts, and it's going to drop, twitching and clawing at the wall, its body still trying to flee you, even headless as it is. Christine, it's your turn. There's a giant dread rat behind you. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I know. I'm laughing at this.
Can I 5-foot jump away from it
Yeah, you can disengage.
and fling my hammer in its face?
That sounds great. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay.
$23.
Yeah, that's a hit.
It's nice when I add, 7 to my rolls.
Nice. Okay.
Actually, shit, no, it should be higher because I add 8.
Oh, wow. All right,
I
so
forgot
go
about that
ahead.
extra +1.
Go ahead and do me damage.
Okay,
That's 2d8 plus your strength.
okay, so that is 9 damage.
9 damage. Your hammer is going to lash out, and it's going to slam into this thing's mouth. Part of it's razor sharp, but strangely, well, it's not sharp so much as it is it's blunt, like the back of a pickaxe. These giant jaws that rip through you. It's going to crack part of its main tooth set off, and it's going to shriek through a mass of blood at you. Its eyeball already swelling shut from the hammer blow. And I'm getting one moment while I give it a wisdom save.
Hammer time.
Oh yeah, it's pissed. Good job.
Yeah.
Well, I often give monsters common sense rolls to see whether or not they're like, I'm going to die if I keep this up. And this thing is mad, and its kin just died. Chris, you're up. This thing is free in front of you.
Bonus action, Raffle Smite, and then I use action to attack it.
All right.
Does a 14 hit?
Yes, it does.
All right. So that's a bonus d6 psychic damage.
Psychic damage? All right.
So that's 9 bludgeoning, 1 psychic, and it needs to make me a DC 15 wisdom save.
15? Damn.
And then I'll just attack it again.
All right, so how much was the first damage? 9?
10 damage altogether. 9 bludgeoning, 1 psychic.
Nice.
Does that matter?
No.
Okay.
Not for it. It has no special immunities.
26.
To hit?
Yep.
Yes. Wouldn't that be funny if that was a miss, though?
12 damage.
12 damage?
We're fine. That's nice.
And I already used my bonus action, so I'm done.
All right, so you're going to slam into it, just mowing. Boom! Shoo, boom! Your hammer blow raining down on it. And it's going to, as you slam into it, rear up above you at its full height of almost 20 feet. Its back scratching the ceiling as it's going to look down at you with those gaping maw, with that gaping maw. Holy shit. What's your AC?
22.
Okay, cool. So one moment. That was the... Okay, so 1d8, 2d8. I have to borrow one of Ferret's d8s. I wasn't hoping not to do this. Oh wait, maybe I don't have to. I don't have to.
It's
Good.
nice knowing you.
Oh, I got this.
Do you?
That's a lot of d8s.
That's a lot of D8s.
I got this.
Oh, actually, I need to do that because that's the other attack.
Oh, crap.
Wait, is it?
I got this.
Maybe?
Don't
die,
Chris, you're gonna take 12... 21... 29 points of damage.
Okay.
And you are grappled.
I can do that.
I'm sorry. I misread something. Plus an additional 6 piercing damage.
Cool.
This thing is going to slam in. One of the tentacles lashes out, and you buffet it aside with the side of your shield, knowing the second that you knock it aside that it's too late.
Oops.
There's one more of those, and it collides. It's little grasping needle-like appendages at the end, suctioning and reaching into the chinks in your armor, burying into your flesh and wriggling down between the bones, your ribs and your pectorals, and then the jaws come and clamp around your shoulders.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Oh, it's look at its. Like, you see what it's doing, right? Yeah, it's... Amy, do you want to look at look at this? Just don't look at the stats. And it's going to bite down and roar phlegmy bile and...
Shitty breath. You
Yeah.
can eat shit.
Putrid.
However, you're immune to disease. So, good for you. And now we are at... That rat is dead. So, Amy.
Okay.
Save your friend!
Oh, can you please remove the rat from the board?
Oh yeah, no, it's it did. It did. Oh yeah. And the other one, is that still up?
It is still up. It is very badly wounded.
I think you got this. Unless you look super wounded too.
I want to turn in and fight the big bad.
I
don't want to be distracted.
I'm going after that thing that's going after him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna turn and just I guess I can move.
You can bear charge.
I don't have a charge board.
It doesn't. You can move 30 feet toward him.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just turn and go. Basically.
1, 2. I think the bear movement is 40, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can easily run up to
Basically.
flank it.
So where like here?
You're running on water, remember?
Yeah.
So wherever you want.
Basically, I just wasn't sure. It's just that size, right?
Yes, and
Essentially?
you are not leaving my attack zone, so... And because you have reach as well, you're fine.
Yeah. I don't know if I actually have reach. I just have.
Well, you have 10-foot reach. You're large sized.
Yeah. So I guess I do. No, I don't have.
Your claw attacks may have reach. Double check later.
I don't think they do. It's just they're 5 feet from me, but I'm big.
Oh, okay. So you are going to be. So
I'm
you do
just
have to
gonna
move
go
inside
up to-
my. So I do get an
Yeah.
attack of opportunity against you.
I thought it was only when I leave the threatened.
But you are, because you're moving. So your threatened square is 10 feet
Yeah.
because it has reach because of the tentacles. So you move through one of its squares to run up and hit it.
Oh, okay.
So that is a 15.
That'll hit.
It will hit? Okay. However, it's pretty...
I don't have
Okay.
their hit points right now.
So that is going to be a total of 14 points of damage, but you will be grappled. You can make me an escape roll.
What's that?
It is
Dexterity? Strength?
It's a dex roll.
It's typically escape artist, or sorry, acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah, I'm a bear. That's a 16.
Okay, you know what? I'll allow you to do that with the rest of your move.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, it's going to grab onto you, ripping hair and blood and skin off of you, and you're going to tear away and manage to get an attack.
Okay. So do I get my full attack?
Yeah,
Because it's a multi-attack.
I'll allow it.
Yay.
So
Because it's not 2 attacks, it's just multi-attack.
if somebody...
2 attacks, yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Technically, it's 1 attack of each. It's 1 claw, 1
I just
bite.
wasn't sure if because it's treated as multi-attack.
So on an animal or creature, basically multi-attack means that it gets a different set of attacks.
Yeah.
So this thing can choose to do a tentacle slam,
Yeah.
or it can choose to do
Because that's why I went with the bears, because the tiger could only do one or the other.
Yeah, so bear does both.
Yeah.
Yes, you risk. Question?
If somebody is grappling somebody else,
Mhm.
the one who's doing the grappling, do they get disadvantage on dex saving throws? Because they're trying to hold one person
They
in place?
don't, but they have to use one of their limbs to
Yeah.
maintain the grapple.
So this thing can restrain things until the grapple ends.
Wait, grapple or restrain?
You are restrained, my apologies. So,
Oh, okay.
you are grappled and restrained.
Okay, got it.
So you're both. Wow, that's dope. But you can make me a check at the beginning of your round.
Cool.
I'll say it doesn't take your
So-
whole action because that sucks.
Oh, sure. Either way.
So 20 on my bite total, and then my claws was a total of 12.
That one will miss, but the first one will hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Where did I
On-
stick my D8? I don't remember.
So the bite does hit.
The bite hits, so it's just
Okay.
a D8 plus 4. Piercing.
I think you guys.
we got
That's
this.
a 12 total. 12 damage.
All right, so you'll bite deep into it, and a rush of chunky, lukewarm blood is going to spill into your mouth. And Christine, you're up.
That's disgusting.
Blech.
Do you have 2 attacks per round
Have
at
you
this
seen a bear
level?
puke?
I don't think so.
Okay.
This one might.
I don't know if I've seen a bear before.
I've never seen that before, but...
I'll look it up.
Which one?
What level you get a second attack as a cleric?
Oh.
I don't think you do unless it's...
Oh, yeah, you don't.
You don't normally unless it's part of your domain.
Okay.
I will 5-foot jump again. And
Okay.
fling my hammer in his face again.
All right.
The
So where are you moving?
Back way. Just 5-foot jump. This way? So, yeah.
You can make an acrobatics check to drop further.
I have 1 in acrobatics.
Okay,
I'm
you're
not
cool.
gonna Chance it.
That's life. That's a hit. I'm pretty sure. You had +8, so 16.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
Cool.
Do the thing.
I'm gonna go Nova on this thing.
No, you can't do that with this character.
Oh yeah?
19 damage.
Holy crap.
I rolled 2 7s.
All right, so your hammer is going to collide with this thing, and an unearthly is going to echo throughout the chamber. And
Kind of a slightly hollow slapping sound.
basically, yeah, and you can actually see the shiver of
Like
thick
you-
hide and blubber radiating from the impact above its left eye.
Like you hit a watermelon with a hammer.
Actually, it doesn't have eyes. Above its left dimple.
I'm hitting the rat, hon.
Oh, you're hitting the rat.
Well, yeah, it's still attacking me.
Oh, sorry. You said that you were focusing on the big bad. In that case,
Well, no, I said I want to focus on the big bad.
my apologies. Please explain what happens with the rat. Does it just splat?
It sounds like you hit something hollow, hard yet soft, like a watermelon.
Does it explode or just fold?
I think it the skin keeps it all intact, but it just
crumples.
yeah, it's a kind
An
of
amorphous blob of fur is laying there where your hammer transmogrifies it into a beanbag chair.
Right then.
You can hear the sound of all of its bones shattering as the hammer ricochets around against it, and then back into your hand with a satisfying... Yeah, it's gone.
All right, now finally I can focus on the big bad.
Yes.
Okay, let me just adjust its hit points back up then.
Does it look really hurt?
It looks fairly bloodied.
Yeah.
You can see places where the skin is starting to ooze from where the blood and broken bones are jutting out from the hammer blows. And there's a bear hanging off of it, which isn't making its day any better.
Bear hug!
All right, and
Oh my
Chris.
So you said I can make a check to get out of this?
Yes, you may.
Can I use that for or advantage on the check?
Yes, you may.
Cool. And athletics?
Sure. No, let's see. This is a...
Are you kidding me?
All right, so you are restrained and grappled.
Or
Yep.
14.
14.
well, yeah.
Was that your total?
Yep. I get plus 10 to the roll.
Then you will escape.
Woohoo! But you rolled a 4 twice. It was really funny.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. 4 twice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You will manage to, with great effort, pry it away from you.
All right. And did you say I could still attack if I got through?
You can still attack, yeah.
Awesome.
Normally not, but hey, there's only 3 of you, so I'm feeling generous.
Woohoo! So, first attack. 14.
14 is going to be a hit.
Alright, use the second little spell slot to Divine Smite
Need more
this
d8s?
thing. Do you have another one?
How many d8s?
1, 2, just one more.
Okay.
I keep planning epic shit and I never get the chance to use it.
Yeah, I know.
I think you'll be able to.
Yeah.
This thing's pretty tough.
It's made of some blubber and big.
Oh,
Ooh!
That's pretty good.
so 16, 24 radiant damage,
Okay.
and 7 bludgeoning.
Okay, so 31 total.
Yeah.
That's really good. An arc of divine energy is going to just trail his hammer as it flies like a comet into the side of this thing, and a gout of filthy blood is going to shoot out of this thing's mouth as it roars a coughing chortle.
It's just like, and I just start shouting, "You can't stop me! I have greater things to do than deal with you!" 18.
All
And I
right.
use another second level spell slot and divine strength this
Can you
bitch.
use 2 in 1 round?
It's not an action.
It's not.
One's a bonus
It's
action?
not an act. It's not even a bonus action. It is a non-existent thing. I think you can just decide after you hit, which is great if you get a critical.
Huh.
And what is the? I don't think there's a limit on. It's just when you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can expend 1 spell slot to deal radiant damage to the target.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got limited spell slots, so...
Oh, I've got 1 first level spell slot after this, and that's it.
So you can only do it so many times, but...
And they won't be as good as that last one, because that was, like, max. So 12, 13, and 7, so 20 damage in total.
Alright.
Because I'm like, you won't stop me!
Alright, so that's basically going to be a follow-up blow as a second comet burst slams into it. Blood and ichor pouring out of its mouth. It's not having a good day, guys. Oh god. You've seen Odiugs before.
Mm-hmm.
And one that isn't quite this large would have been dead. Oh god, with that first blow. This one is barely hanging on. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to do the only thing it can, which is tentacle bite. Amy, you're purple.
Okay.
So many dice everywhere.
Ooh, senor.
Alright, and that other one's gone. So in that case, you are... One of you is yellow. Wait, where's the yellow? Oh, there it is. Ugh. Wow, really? Really? So... 19... I'm gonna miss 3 times. Well, hell.
Nice. The one that didn't beat 12?
When not on... I got a 10 against you, and then I got an 8 against Block, and then I got a 19 against you. And none of these hit. And wow. Yes. Don't you love it when you plan an epic fight with some heavy damage and then you roll for shit? So it flails at you, savagely trying to rend you to prolong its own life. Amy, it's your round.
Yeah, I'm gonna swipe and try and chomp at it again.
Okay, go ahead.
So again, bite. Purple is claws.
Okay,
Do the thing.
do the thing. Don't budge.
Okay, 9 to bite
9 is a miss.
and 15 for claws.
All right,
Nice.
the claws are going to hit.
Okay. That's a total of 7.
7.
7. I rolled a
Okay.
1 and a 2.
All
tragic.
right.
So I probably just don't quite get the...
So was that bite or was it claw?
That was my claws.
All right, so you tear away some of its flesh with your jaws as you rear back and slash your claws into it, and you can feel the limp splash next to you as the tentacle tears off.
Yeah, well.
It's almost unarmed.
Christine.
Christine.
Almost disarmed.
Almost.
It's your round. What do you do?
It looks
doesn't
really
have the
hurt at
right
this
to
point.
bear arms.
Yes, very hurt.
I'm
I have bare
just
arms.
gonna
I
fling
know.
my hammer at it then.
Okay.
Yeah, you are. You got this.
Do it! Wreck it!
Is your name Ralph?
Yeah.
No, but you're Fix-It Felix.
No, don't do that. Don't fix
13 is unfortunately going to be a leg cramp, and then a miss.
it.
Oh, sorry. Ooh, that's still trying to cramp. No, you don't. I just got a calf cramp. And if you've ever seen my calves, you know that's a hell of a cramp. It's a strong muscle. Your hammer sails past as it roars. I need to drink more water today. And now we're back at Dead Rat number 1. Dead Rat number 1, what do you do?
It says absolutely nothing
It
because it's dead.
gurgles as the blood leaves its body.
And yet it still votes Fast Cloud in the election. But, yeah, I know. Now we're back at Chris. Same thing.
You were not as impressive. Just regular attack, 18.
Okay, that's a hit.
Not smiting because I only have one spell left. That's 7 damage.
Okay.
Second attack, 15.
So, roll me damage.
9.
And your second one?
Oh, no, the first one was, how much damage did I roll for the first one?
7.
7 and 9 damage.
All right. So, this thing is as large as
the 15
a
was
small
the hit.
shed, basically. Or it's actually a large shed. Small barn. What do you do?
I want to make it explode.
Bonk.
I want shit
Bonk.
everywhere. Like,
All right.
smack it into the wall and just splatter.
So you're going to cave in the front of its skull with your hammer, and your second blow is going to send it careening against the pipes. There's going to be a wrenching sound as the
Pipes clear.
pipes clear, and the drain around the pipe, the grates that the halflings are hiding in, are stripped away, and shit and piss is going to splatter the walls. It's not even that. It's a mixture of all sorts of liquids, and it's like a tidal wave of it crashes into the walls. Strangely, you are actually far enough away, Christine. This isn't going to hit you.
My shield.
You're going to cover yourself?
Yeah, remember the property of the shield?
Oh, that it always is clean.
It never gets dirty.
So
I'm
you'll
gonna
hide
fucking
behind the
hide
shield,
behind it.
and there is an immense eruption of matter. And
He gets thoroughly coated in bear form.
Yep, the bear is drenched.
You.
It's
Yeah.
all in the
Yeah.
fur.
Yeah.
Oh god.
and it's going to slump back into the water, and it's going to breathe its death rattle. And you'll hear a bit of water moving.
Thanks, I hate it.
The force of the blow looks like it's on the other side of the pipes, a steady, slow drizzle. Oh gods, help us!
I rush over and try and help the
I will
halflings.
still start heading forward.
All right. As you head to the pipes, you can see where 3 weary, barely conscious, and absolutely filthy halflings had crawled into the pipes to escape this thing. The pipes themselves are stuffed with all manner of, actually not muck, but debris. You can see there's what looks like dozens of rat skeletons and bits of paper and anything that someone would have flushed down a toilet, clogging it up. Now you know from your experience in nature, what these things do is when they're in sewer systems, they build nests. They plug things up because they eat filth.
Yeah.
The fact that there was any here means that it was slowly collecting it, and that slow trickle of water that was allowed was bringing all of the filth here. It had already cleaned most of the rest of the sewer from your inspection, licking the walls clean, probably. What are you doing in bear form?
The bear is going to move back hopefully out of range, and is going to shake itself as clean as it possibly can. So, yeah.
Insert
Think
gif
just
of Charlie shaking water off.
basically, except with,
Chunky bits.
chunky bits and
Oh, I've got an
disgust.
excellent picture that I caught him in mid-shake, and there's a trail of drool coming off his lip.
Yeah, except, so just imagine this is like a big bear that's
I
covered
love
in
this
muck and
bear.
disgusting.
One of
My
the
feelings
halflings. Here,
Yeah, she moved
Here.
back a bit so it wasn't quite so awful.
take Orin. He's barely alive.
I'm gonna lay on hands as I grab him
Okay.
and pull him out and give him an extra 5 hit points.
Okay. He will dazedly, almost drunkenly come back to you. What happened?
So it's okay. You're good. You're good now. The jarl sent us.
Oh, thank the gods.
Are you good enough to walk?
I bet we're all really And looking at them, can I get a medicine roll off of you and anybody who's you're investigating?
Not me. I am desperately trying to get clean because I do not want to turn back
10?
to
24.
humanoid
24?
like this.
You can see that they are obviously in the throes of some waste-borne disease.
Oh dear.
They are pale. Their skin is... their eyes are slightly cloudy.
Mm-hmm.
They look emaciated, like they haven't eaten in days. Except for one of them. I believe, does lay on hands transfer your disease?
I can use it to heal disease, but
You have to know about it.
I have to intentionally do that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Amy, where are you besides shaking?
I honestly, she's trying to get as clean as she possibly can. She does not want to change back to a humanoid form with this much gunk on her.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, maybe they need to have something carry these guys back. So I will, after very, very, very vigorously shaking, move up towards and just kind of chill.
Make me a perception roll, Amy, specifically you.
Okay. That is that's a 16 and a 6, so 22, I believe.
So 22, with you're going to notice something, a glint off of his light is still shining from his badge.
Yeah.
And down...
Actually, no, it can't because I cast light on stone. Remember?
Oh,
You can only cast light on one thing at a
So
time.
it's
Okay.
dark now. Well, I'm...
well, then it's through the stone casting up. You're going to notice there's a slight glint from all of the motion. A bit of filth on the side of the Udia has cleared, and you can see that around its neck there's a length of chain that's fused in with its flesh.
Ah.
And at the end, there's a little tag hanging off of it.
Can I go and, like, with my claw or
Yeah,
teeth
you
or
can-
something, just gonna pluck that off?
Its head's basically, yeah.
Yeah, just grab that.
So if you pull with your strength, the tag will come right off. The chain's going to stay.
Yeah.
But it looks like it grew into the chain rather rapidly. As you pick it up, you pluck it away, and you'll see that it has a name on it, written in common. On one side, it's in very plain common. You'll see Fluffy.
Oh no, are there two of them?
And on the back, if you flip it around, you will see there is... Where is it? It was... Nope. The name Perillians.
What was that?
Perillians. P-E-R-R-I-N apostrophe S.
P-E-R-R-I-E-L-L-I-A-N.
E-L-L-I-A-N. Perillians. With an apostrophe.
Yeah.
Possessive.
So, is that a name I recognize?
What? Make me an insight roll.
Insight. Alright, bear. Alright, bear. It's okay. Well, so... Insight. 15.
It's hard to forget a name like Perillian's Perfect Pets and Charms. In fact, in your pocket, don't you have a copy of this?
Yeah. Yeah.
The halfling girl was handing them out. You shapeshift back to normal?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
All right. So as they wearily, well, thank you. Iman, the founder, or the foreman, will reach up and brace herself against your dwarven frame. I thought we were goners.
Was I able to tell that they're diseased with the 10?
They look very sick, but you're not.
Okay.
Oh god, the smell.
It's okay, we'll get you back.
Okay. I don't think I can walk.
Are you hurt?
I'm exhausted. I haven't eaten in 4 days, and it's just been.
I'll take out a few rations.
Oh, she's gonna vomit. The mixture of the smell and like you.
Maybe once we get out of this room.
What comes up is it's basically dry. It's just bile. She's on empty, and now that you look at them again, she looks like she's had the flu for days.
Okay.
Dehydrated.
If that's the case, I'm going to
detect poison and disease.
Okay,
So it's a one action thing.
that sounds good. You can absolutely do that. So
I will look
while
at them
she's
and
vomiting in your lap,
Are they diseased?
they are actually. They have a particularly virulent strain of what's the disease called?
Violet fever or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one. I always think mummy rot, but it's never mummy rot.
It's
But they have a deep rotting fever.
And of course, there's three
generic
of them.
house. It's never.
Okay.
It's never mummy
Well,
rot.
the paladin might be able to.
Can you cast lesser restoration?
Yeah, but that's a waste. I'll use 15 points of the
Of your leg.
of lay on hands to cure each of them of the disease.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Great, because that means I don't spend my second level spell slots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got 25 hit points to just sitting there each day that I can be like, you have this condition gone for 5.
Wow, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think someone kept this thing as a pet.
Huh.
We'll look at that after we.
Okay. I'm
get
going to examine the
research.
blockages stuff.
All right. So this is going to be gross. What I'd like you to do is make me an investigation check.
Okay.
And if you haven't spent your inspiration,
I have not.
yeah.
I want to move the halflings away and onto like the dry part.
Double 19.
Are you
Nice.
kidding me? Really?
Well done.
Nice!
Well, that was a bit of a waste of inspiration, but
Still.
oh well.
I know it happened to me earlier. When I got
Yeah,
my
it
nat
happened to
20.
me too when I got 2 4s.
Those 4 saved your life. What are you talking about? Okay. So Christine, that's a total of what?
20.
20. If it's investigation.
All right. So what you're going to find is okay. You are going to find 10 pieces of electrum. Electrum being a rarely used coin that functions as the step between platinum and gold. Each one is worth, I believe, 20 gold? Or no, 2 gold? So what's the breakdown with Electrum? I always forget, because the
I
stupid...
want to say, because platinum is 10 gold, right? I would think
Yeah.
electrum is 5 gold.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you'll have basically 50 gold
Okay.
in that. You'll also find a chipped figurine of a goddess. And can you roll me a d10, please? And that will figure out.
9.
Alright, let's check my Gotto index.
Where are you going?
Right, you covered shit.
Shit happens.
You said it was a 9?
Yeah.
Because
It's not the first time I've been covered in something disgusting.
you
know
really
what?
know how to take care of yourself.
As you pull it out,
You.
it's not a goddess. Not really. What it is the
It's impressive.
it looks like it's part of a 2-piece set. Or it was at one point. You know those salt and pepper
Looks like
shakers of people holding hands? It looks almost like a statue of that, but a woman, an elven woman with deep flowing robes and eyes of a deep green spinel. It looks like it's made of not ivory, maybe. The statue's made of orichalcum. A very rare and precious stone.
How do you spell that?
O-R-I
Yeah.
H-A-L C.
Is it CH?
Yeah, I think that looks better.
Yeah.
It is in this generic fantasy setting.
I mean, I'm stealing it from Slayers, so.
Well, Orichalcum's a pretty common fantasy material.
And then,
No, I say it wrong. Orichalcum.
Orichalcum powder.
Orichalcum powder.
And then, so you'll find that, but you can make me an insight roll in a second. And you'll also find...
Insight is 22.
22. You will find, mixed among the mire, a pearl about the size of your hand. It's black, and it's not perfectly circular. It's rather oblong. And we'll find as well two last things. The first is going to be a rusted dagger with a serrated blade, and an empty potion vial.
Is it labeled?
It's not, but it has a symbol on it. That with your insight roll, you'll notice two things. One, you've seen that symbol before somewhere in the market. You can't remember exactly where, but that's a local stand. Oh, this one doesn't have double-sided. It is the shape. Thank you. It is the shape of. Nope, not the lusty lizard. It is the shape of. It's the shape of 3 peas set into each other. Basically like a pea that's outlined triple, like boop, 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 like it's cascading. And then, but the last thing, that statue, you've seen that a larger version of that statue before in Pit Marin.
Oh, it's Marina or whatever?
Marine.
We have also have a painting of at one point.
Yeah, you're just collecting stuff of her.
What?
None of you know your histories.
I know, it's really funny.
It's really funny because like the story is really good.
I was just like,
I promise, the story is really good.
and I don't seem to care enough about her.
Your guys are from Hickville.
I know.
This is like
Right.
this might be a huge story elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like you picture going and finding Arthurian lore in a place that never heard of King Arthur. You're just like,
Yeah.
who is this dude? Why is there a rock with a sword in it? This is
Yeah.
stupid.
Okay. So I basically found everything I can find in the tunnel.
You think so? You can also a bunch of copper coins that aren't really worth getting.
If you show me the statue, I'll be like, keep that away from Mars.
As well as this, the giant pearl.
Oh, yeah, no, keep that away from Mars.
How it's very little flow is going through the tunnel. The tunnel right now, right?
How would I figure this?
Hammer time?
Does it look like
Oh, she's got something else, I think.
I could do the
Microwave?
thing? Yeah.
That would clear the blockage.
Possibly cause an earthquake too, but you know.
It does
No,
not.
it does not.
It does not. It's specific. It's really weird, but it doesn't.
Oh, I meant more like chain reaction
Oh yeah.
from like what we do.
Cover your ears.
Yeah, and let's back up.
You'll be fine.
I protect the halflings.
Well, it's each creature, if you spend their weight, 15-foot cube or something.
Cube, so she can put it in front of.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's from her.
She's in the middle of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we gonna back up.
Are you? So, are you telling them to go get like on the ridges?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I'm sure you might not know what I'm doing. You, on the other hand, do know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm like, I have a feeling I know what's gonna happen here, because I thought about it too.
Are you going to do something with the...
Yeah, let's move. Come on. Just
I'm gonna clear the blockage. Just get up on the
You're on the
walkway.
edges.
Here.
Welcome water's only so
I'm
useful.
going to toss you some rope.
Okay, I will just.
Because as soon as if you are successful at taking that out, where's all the water going to go?
Yeah, the water's gonna sweep you off your feet. Maybe stand on.
And
You stand on top of the pipes.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, if you can stand on top of the pipes, then great.
Cool. But I'll need a deck save for
Well, I
you
need to
after
be.
you do this.
No, I need to be closer because it pushes 10 feet away from me.
Yeah.
So I need to be within it to push the stuff out.
So tie it around yourself, and I'll tie it to me and
Okay.
brace myself somewhere.
Yeah, because this might pull me off my feet, but it won't pull me down, right? Because the water's still a surface to me.
It will. It's basically going to work like a mudslide that's not going to pull you under.
Yeah.
So it could slam you against the wall and do damage that way.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a deck save
Okay.
after this to basically jump out of the way,
Okay.
with Chris assisting.
Okay.
Advantage.
Knowing that it's coming, do I get advantage?
You'll have advantage between that and Chris helping, yeah.
Really? Double numbers again. Guess what they are this time?
Are they both ones?
2.
Oh, okay.
No.
So I do not succeed in any way, shape, or form.
All right.
As that is definitely not what I have
And what is the
proficiency in.
damage for Thunderwave?
2d8 thunder damage is pushed 10 feet away from you.
Okay. So 10 feet.
However, that's a creature, right?
Yeah.
In addition, unsecured objects that are completely within the area of effect are automatically pushed 10 feet away from you by the spell's effect. So I don't think this affects anybody. Like, it's not going to do any damage to anything, because that's only to creatures.
And it emits a thunder spume audible out
All
to
right.
300 feet.
And
So I
that's
cover
just,
my ears.
yeah. I warned you guys to plug your ears.
I don't, because I'm holding the rope.
Yep.
There's a tremendous crash as thunder rips through this echo chamber. And suddenly, a boom on the other side as the collected debris explodes out the other end from the changing pressure. There's a rush of water as hundreds and hundreds and thousands of gallons of water and other things start rushing through the pipes. You are swept off of your feet and will find yourself bouncing atop of this wave. The good thing about this is you're going to take 6 points of non-lethal damage from bouncing, basically, and the are going to be pressure washed by the cleaner water that's rushing by you.
I didn't
You're-
get that dirty, honestly.
No, and now your ass is clean because it's bouncing on top of a jet of water. Basically, you're doing a power bidet.
So my armor's really clean.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm assuming you pull me back.
Do I get cleaned off a bit?
I would not step into this water at the moment.
Because you'll get slammed against that grating and drown.
I
Because it
wasn't
will
sure which way
hold
the
you
water
against
was
it.
rushing.
The water's rushing out.
So this way?
Yep, it's rushing
Okay.
through down the pipes
So
and
I'm
out the
fine.
side of the mountain.
Gotcha.
So, and actually, if you were pushed through the pipes, you might eventually die because it might launch you into the Earth Scar. Because that's where you throw your debris, right? Eventually. All right. So, after a full minute of the water and crap rushing past, it'll slow to a steady stream. And for a moment, it's just fresh-ish water. All of that mountain drift water from the main pool. Do you wade in a bit?
Yeah. And then I'm gonna quickly just jump in and jump out.
As you jump out, you'll see
Yeah.
some floats start to go.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna need a bath.
It's true.
Yeah.
And with that, you find
That was
yourselves
nothing.
in the taking care of 3 halflings as you make your way out. Do you do anything else as you go? Or do you just want to get the hell out of here?
I just want to get out.
We found him, that was our job.
Yeah.
Can you turn back into a bear?
Yes.
Alright, we secure the halflings to her back.
All right.
She can still water walk, because I think we're still within an hour.
Yeah.
You're coming up on the end of it,
Alright,
but as
let's
you're getting out,
GTFO.
you make your way
Whatever
out.
that stands for in this world.
Get the fun out. Get your feet on.
GTH.
The water.
Get the halflings out.
Get that jitho. All right, you make your way back through the tunnels, following the chalk marks on the walls, and go through the central chamber with the pillars. Now here it's actually going to be a bit of a burden to get by again, as the water has dropped almost 7 feet, standing a mere 3.5 feet, a 10-foot drop from the bridge, which is now a gap.
makes sense. I grumble as a bear.
It's 10 feet.
It's about 15 feet across.
15.
You can try a running jump.
Yep, I do it.
All right, let me just check the athletics checks for that.
There isn't. If it's a running jump with 10 feet, it's equal to your strength score.
Is it actually?
Yeah,
Andy.
How do you remember this crap?
that's what I do.
It's what you do.
Oh,
I
it's
roll
equal
dice
to
and I
strength
don't think-
score.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So
'cause
I
I've
go
got
over there with a
19 right
rope.
now.
What's your strength score as a bear?
Strength scores are bear 19.
Mine's
Okay.
18, so it's just like...
So with some tremendous might, so you're going to, the bear is going to leap across, and then you're going to watch this dwarf basically. What's your strength?
No one needs a
18.
tosser.
19.
I like this dwarf. And this half-orc. Bear.
They'll land on
thing.
the other side, and
Bear.
as they do, the halflings will all shriek in unison. Eek! I was hoping for some help.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Is that what? That's their screeching.
There we go. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. All right, and you will land across.
Slide.
And as you begin to walk up the stairs, you'll feel your spell dissipate, and the two of you will step into a puddle and feel it start to come up a bit around your boot and your bare paw.
I hate the cold.
Your bare paw.
Yeah.
The spell ends, and you make your way out into the streets of Dogrun Bridge. After bringing the halflings back to,
I stay as a bear until we get them
Sure.
secured.
you can take them to a local a temple, to a hospital, or a small clinic where you know a doctor's working. You can take them back home.
I don't know wherever the guard says to go, really.
Where would you take them? Back to their guild hall? Their
Yeah,
maintenance workers?
well, where's the closest place that I know that they could get, like, a warm meal and just cleaned up? Even if it's my home, like, wherever is closest.
Probably.
I would think it would be maybe a guard center, even like wherever the first place to get them like cleaned up and maybe seen to and get a report
Yeah,
from them. And, like,
There's a guard station on the 3rd floor. It's actually where you were held that first night.
Okay, we'll go there to try and get them cleaned up, and as soon as we're there, I'm going to send somebody to, like, with some money to...
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Let me just shut off the sewer music.
Yeah, it's the music.
And now, the sewer.
No, I
Ambiance.
appreciated that. It was funny. Sewer
Yeah.
music. It's industrial.
And let me instead put on Night in the Town music.
I'm sure I get some funny looks wandering through his great hulking bear.
Well, it's the middle of the night at this point. It's almost like
Yeah, but any
10 or 11
guards.
o'clock at night, maybe later.
Yeah,
yeah, but you also got a guard walking
Yeah.
next to you
that's true.
calmly. Guard captain, was it?
Not even.
No, just a guard.
That hasn't come up yet.
Yeah, we don't know. You're just someone.
Well, I know he's higher up because he got called over by.
Yeah. Wait.
Sorry, my apologies. My apologies.
I have concerns.
That always freaks me out when a video game does that because generally means there's something nearby I don't want to
I
face.
know.
Yeah, it hasn't come up yet, but
It's probably fine.
So, as you make your way back,
I will. While we're walking, though, comment of like, once we get them back, do you want? Like, we got put up in a really nice hotel, hot showers. Like, if you want, we can have meal and talk it over, and anything like give you our impressions so that you can go back and make a report when you're done.
that would be...
Means we don't have to cook.
I was going to send somebody to go grab them a hot meal. That would be fantastic.
The bear
That would
nods.
be...
So let's drop them off, get them seen to with healers,
That's wonderful, thank
and we
you.
can head back and eat and whatnot. Like that way, you don't have to cook for yourself, right?
I was just going to send somebody with some money to buy all of us something to eat, something warm.
Fair enough, but
and as you round the corner, you can see the guard tower, the guard building, looms ahead of you. It's a fairly simple structure, which I have on the map of it someplace. whatever. So it's a two-story building with a dungeon in the basement. But as you approach it, the front door is wide open.
That's not good.
Oh no.
Take care of the halflings. I'm going to run in there.
As you do, the man behind there's the guard who's normally behind the counter is blearily rubbing the side of his head.
Are you okay?
Fast Cloud came and they let all the prisoners go. I think maybe a half hour ago.
Is this any? Find out if anyone is seriously hurt and take care of them first. We'll figure this out after.
From behind you, you can hear a couple of guards step out of an alleyway, looking rather shaken. Sir. A moment.
What happened?
The Fast Cloud were here. They beat the guards unconscious down in the dungeon, and as they came through here, Afar, the lieutenant, he's the female guard behind him. He's dead, sir. We didn't get a good look at them, but someone was using magic. I didn't think the Fast Cloud had any casters among them.
Look, see to anyone else who's injured. Make sure that's your first priority, and then we'll figure out what to do about this after.
Sir, we have to stop them.
We will.
He had kids. What are they going to do?
I'll make sure that they won't go hungry.
She looks at you. We're going to get those bastards.
There's a right way to do this. Just hold off on anything rash for now.
I'll toss you the electrum we found in the sewer. Here. It's what we found down there. Put that towards the kids.
Thank you.
Now, where's the injured guards? Okay.
They're back in the garrison.
I will just start heading that way.
I'm standing there with like 3 halflings still strapped to my back going, "Grr,
All right.
grr."
So, just one moment, please.
I know.
Suck it up, Teah.
We are people.
Yeah,
I'll basically
absolutely.
call it my shoulder. Suck it up, Teah. Deal.
Where do
Look, I know.
where do I put them?
I know that you guys don't really want to get involved with what's going on here, but we
Yeah.
could really use your help.
I'm just gonna follow you to where the guards are because you know what? I've got some injured halflings. Let's just put them together. That makes
Sounds
sense.
We could really use your help with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get your guards back on their feet.
Once we get to, how far is it? Probably not far to the guards.
No, it's just down the stairs.
Okay, so we'll go down, get these, like, grumble loudly until someone gets these off my back.
If there's any mobile guards in the room, I'll put you, get the halflings off of her. It's a druid. You're fine. She won't bite you.
Yes, sir.
I growl a little bit.
Ma'am, sir, ma'am.
Either is fine.
All
And
right.
I will head
Once
to the
they're off,
injured
yeah.
guards
And then I'll switch back
and start going through them.
and I'll start healing too.
Well, I'll start using medicine to determine who's actually needs
Triage.
healing. Yeah. Triage them.
I've got
Yay.
5 hit points that I can heal people. If anyone's
Nice.
unconscious, I'll just be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What you gotta do what you gotta do.
At least getting them up.
All right. So going inside, you'll see that it looks like quite the fight broke out in here. The dungeon itself is well, it's in the other room if you wanted to show you, but it's about 40 feet long with 8 cells divided. Stop yawning.
I can't help it.
Yes, you can.
10-20.
All right. I love that all of my notes.
Were there any particular prisoners who were held in this particular dungeon?
Yes, Marriage and Johns. Also, Paulo Tang was down here, several members of the Fast Cloud. And
We were. Yeah.
the guards in the basement are quite badly beaten.
If you look at Teah, she just looks mad.
Nice. And among them, you will see a cleric, actually, groggily stepping back up to his feet and trying to shake himself back to his senses. You'll see he's a rather attractive human male in his early 20s. Looks like the type that's going to fill out really well as he pushes 30. But right now he's lean, sinew, and muscle with blonde hair cut short around his face and almost a military cut, and is wearing vestments of the. If I'm not mistaken, he's a priest of Arcaris, the god of
War and Oaths?
War and Oaths. You've met him, but for some reason my piece of paper with his name on it has absconded.
Did I write anything down, I wonder?
I don't think you've met him.
No, maybe not. Probably not.
But I had him on a piece of paper last week. So hey. That happens. That's fun.
Not any of those ones, is he?
He's not. I wish. He is not. I know. A lot of NPCs in this town.
Yep.
Thank you, sister. Blindsided. He holds his arm and Cleric of Vela.
Yeah.
Sister, would you mind putting pressure on my shoulder for a moment?
Does it look dislocated or?
Yep.
Alright. I will do the thing.
Alright, he'll lean into it to help you.
And just.
And there's a wrenching crack as his arm is replaced in its socket.
He'll have had to have bent over a bit for that.
Oh yeah, he basically like shoulder thrusts down into you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a loud crunch.
I'll cast a light cure on that to soothe the muscle and whatnot.
Thank you.
You'll feel magic radiate.
I don't know what happened. They just came out of nowhere. It's not your fault. You did what you could to try to... Oh, my head. They don't really remember much. It was really fast. Thank you.
I have to... Like, once things kind of look like they're... Like, whoever's help is getting help and things are getting organized, I have to go. I'll be back, though. Please, if there's anything else that you guys can do, I'll be in touch. I have to go see the Jarl.
I will actually, before you leave, I will give you the tag I got from the monster that says Fluffy on it.
Thank you.
It might be worth looking into.
Yeah.
I also like handy the potion vial.
If I see that, the 3-piece, does that look the pets?
No,
Logo?
it's
Okay.
different.
Okay.
But you've seen that one as well.
Yeah, you're
The
okay.
potion shop.
Yeah.
The potion shop. The
Actually, you know what? You live in this town. Would you like to make me an insight roll?
Insight roll. 23.
That's great. You will recognize both of these places, and
Is that
what?
a potion of like... would make
Amy,
it
do you still have your map again? Or do you-
Oh, so I
somebody's-
gave it back to you.
Okay. then it's
Perfect potions.
yes,
That's
it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
3-piece. Two swords of
So
3
it
piece.
is. That's Pirelli and the Perfect Pets and Charms,
Mhm.
and then there's also Perpetually Perfect Potions. I know there's a lot of P's.
I hate it.
I love it.
It's funny.
So you'll recognize, both of these places are active market stalls. And you know that Pirelli will sell anything to anyone and specializes in rare and strange pets.
I will keep the little figurine. If nobody says anything, I'll probably keep the pearl too.
Okay.
But
Look, please don't go anywhere. I think we could, if you guys are willing, we could really use your help dealing with not just this, but if this is all part of the Claywins instigating these riots and like supporting the Fast Cloud, we're in a lot of trouble if they're going through Grimstead. We can't let that happen. Otherwise, it's just going to be more of this and more death.
okay, so we are in the Law Hotel. I need to go back and rest, or I'm going to be useless.
I need a bath. But if this has something to do with the Claywins, I swear that I will get to the bottom of it. I have unfinished business with them.
Brother, the cleric says, looking at you, walk with honor.
Oh, she's going to be pissed.
Alright, and then you walk off.
Yeah.
The guards didn't get a good look. You're the ones that the jarl is called in to do investigation and help, right? The adventurers?
Yeah, we were just down in the sewers.
That's where we found
I'll
them.
point off to the wards of halflings.
They're not just halflings anymore.
The Fast Cloud? Well, they seem to have a drow assassin on their side.
This wasn't a drow. It was an elf. Pale skin, tawny skin, I think. The light down here is not great. I think he was a wood elf. Fought fast, barehanded. Dislocated my shoulder and my jaw. I didn't really get a good look at the rest of them.
I'm sure we will find out what happened here soon. They can't go far. But I need to go get clean before I get someone or myself sick.
Walk with honor.
Walk with honor.
Alright.
And
I'll need to take a rest before I can do much more.
same. So,
Which, by that point, like, all your guards are back on their feet for the most part.
Yeah.
yeah, I used all
I
my
have
healing
expended
stuff.
every spell
No,
slot.
we got
Do
them
we
up.
go back to the hotel?
You will be on
Yeah.
your way back to the hotel?
If we get back to the hotel, are they there?
They're not there yet, no.
Okay.
So,
Remember that friendship bracelet that I get that Jason has?
nice.
I want to find them.
They are on their way back to the hotel right
So
now.
I will be just tracking where they are, their movement.
Are radically moving back toward. Is there anything that you're saying or doing before we close?
We need to have a conversation with our friends.
And why don't we call a game there? Because that's a great, great moment. So, Blog, thank you for joining us tonight and for playing this NPC. I'm sure he'll come up again in the games ahead.
Paladins are fucking rad.
They're really rad. So, Amy,
Mm-hmm.
nice. You're going to yell at a lot of people. I look forward to
I'm
it.
gonna lose it.
I look forward to watching that.
Oh, it's going
Malia
to be
is gonna
good.
Just quite firmly stand behind Teah with the
The
Very
hammers.
disgruntled.
"Did you do?"
All right, I'm going to organize my notes a
Knowing-
little better.
Just even if we have no proof or evidence, just that combination of
Bare-fisted wood elf.
and the fact that he wanted to talk to them.
That particular girl, though.
Yep, they dropped her name.
All right, so that's going to be it for Generic Fantasy Setting number 17735. This was episode 17, known as The Crap Job. Sorry that it had so much sewer in it, but I really wanted to use one of these guys because they're rad. So, it is Tuesday, which is a rare night for us. We're doing this as a special because we had to skip a week because of, life stuff. We are
I got sick.
Yep, and
Life,
I became a master.
Gets in the way.
Yeah, thanks, Goldblum. So, be sure to tune in tomorrow night for Hunter the Vigil episode 4, which is going to be here at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Chris will be back for that. Amy will likely be moderating a chat in another room, knowing her. And Christine will be there as well. Tomorrow's game is going to be very interesting, and it should be a lot of fun. And don't forget, we also have Star Trek this Friday. And Generic Fantasy Setting number 17735 returns with episode 18 next Wednesday. So we'll see you then.
Do you have a lot of faith that tomorrow will go well?
We have a small army of idiots to deal with.
Okay, stop the string. That's a great place. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.